going on, everybody? Welcome back to another brand new episode in the 31 days of spooky videos. Another brand new episode of Fans of Something Live. That's right. It is episode 31, the magic number. We did this on purpose for our next guest. We wanted to tie in Halloween 31. I mean, it's a pretty good Rob Zombie movie, by the way, but he is a big fan of Halloween. Funny enough, actually, KB from KB Loves Movies, he just did a video asking the community, blue tubers, whatever you want to call us, what is your favorite John Carpenter movie? And he asked myself, and apparently he asked Mark, because in that video I come up and then the next person that follows is Mark. So I watched that today and I was like, oh, perfect, it's meant to be. So that's who we're having on tonight. Mark, by the way, Haley is she's going to be, I think, maybe in the chat room. She's going to be in the chat room. So she's here with us in spirit, but it's one-on-one tonight. That's what it is. So, but day 14, can you believe we're almost halfway through October? It's absolutely nuts. It's the month we look forward to the most out of the year, and then boom, it's over. So we're trying to soak it up and enjoy it as much as possible. But if you go into Bed Bath and Beyond, or not Bed Bath and Beyond, Bath and Body Works, that one. If you go into Bath and Body Works, as we went in there today, it's all Christmas. Like, it's like, what? Like, we're still in October, folks. Why are we getting rid of October stuff? So anyways, I digress. Yeah, next week we're going to be flying out to Hollywood. So we're excited for that. Look forward to live streams and vlogs and all that stuff for the 31 days of spooky videos. But anyways, let's bring our guest in, make sure we're having a good dialogue tonight, because I'm excited to have him on. This is Mark from Tales from the Shelf. You may or may not know him. If you don't know about him, go check out his channel. It's linked down below. You click the little @ takes you right on over to his channel. It's just a great channel. So let's bring him in. Here is Mark from Tales from the Shelf.
What's up, man? How you doing?
Oh, hi, Mark. How often do you get that? How often do you get, oh, hi, Mark?
All of the time.
And you understand the reference? I
do, but I haven't seen the Room,
okay,
which makes it funnier, because I'm like, yeah, I know that's a thing, but I don't know what you're actually referring. I mean, I've seen the clip, where he's like on the roof or whatever.
Yeah.
But yeah, I am so used to it. I get that. I get Marky Mark a lot.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
Yep. Marky Mark and the Funky Bunch. There's no end to it. Yeah.
No end. And but like I said at the top, we did do this semi on purpose. I mean, it just kind of worked out. But having watched KB's video today, hearing your favorite Carpenter film, your favorite horror film of all time, is The Sign behind you there. Although not specifically that one.
Yeah, not this exact one. But yeah, it's Halloween for sure.
Yeah. And so I assume you watched KB's video as well.
I did. It was great.
Wasn't that but that's so weird that, because I didn't tell him, like, maybe he saw that you were coming on and he was like, ooh, I have both of these guys. So let's
put these guys right next to each other. No,
right,
that was awesome. Yeah, I was watching it at work. It was great.
No, it was so cool. Like, just because I said Christine, and at the end of the video, no one else had said Christine. So I was like, yes, I was the one that said Christine.
That's that question of what's your favorite Carpenter film. I feel like it's even more interesting if you add that asterisk where it's like, except for Halloween and The Thing.
Yeah.
That's when it gets really interesting, where it's like, okay, you could get some Prince of Darknesses, you could get The Fog, you could get Christine. Christine is my third favorite. It's Halloween, Thing, Christine. But those two are like, Halloween and Thing are like, they're top tier. And then Christine's also fantastic. But it's tough when you're like comparing these two it's like two masterpieces. It's like Godfather 1 and 2. It's like, how do you decide what's better,
Yeah, no, I get it. Honestly, because I believe it was Max, who is Tracy from Nerdy Film Girls.
Yeah.
He was a part of the video. He said vampires, which that was a bizarre pick.
I like to see it though, man. I really do, because it's like, I don't know. The Thing, it was great, but it's like, how many times can you really like sing its praises before it's like, it's like making something, even doing something like making a video on The Thing was like, it feels daunting, because it's like, how do you even add to that conversation in a way that hasn't already been done? It's tough. So, but yeah, I mean, it's like I said, I almost wish I could have been like, what's your third or your second or something like that, because that's where you really start to see, because it could be anything. You could see Big Trouble in Little China. Like, he's got such a diverse filmography. So
I think something that you're never gonna ever see is The Ward, though.
oh god, I haven't seen that in probably over 10 years, and I have this morbid curiosity to like track it down somewhere, maybe streaming or rent it, and just like see what it's all about, because I really don't remember. I mean, I remember like how it ends and stuff, and that's the whole deal, but I don't know. I'm always like, is it that bad? Is kind of the question I've got, because I really don't know anymore.
Yeah,
you hear
I've personally never seen it. I've only ever heard horror stories about it. How it's sort of like, oh, can that not be his last feature film, please?
Yeah, that's that would suck.
But like, people now are obviously talking about how he's directing that episode of Suburban Screams, but that's really not even like a movie. That's just sort of like a true life crime thing that he's.
Yeah, it's odd to me that that's like the thing that he would kind of come back for. Back. I put come back in sort of quotation marks, but it's like, I don't know. It almost seems like he was content to just kind of live in like semi-retirement for the rest of his life and just sort of, go to cons and that sort of thing. So for him to attach his name to that, I don't know. I wonder what drew him to that project.
Yeah, no. And what's weird is maybe because of the strikes going on, but he's not an actor. But I don't think anyone really asked him about, because he did that surprise appearance at age 45.
Yeah.
And I don't remember, correct me if I'm wrong if you watched it, but I don't remember hearing anyone ask him specific details like, oh, can you talk about, why you were drawn to this series or anything like that. It was just sort of.
Yeah, that's interesting. I'm sure most in attendance were not even
sure, like, yeah,
didn't even care. Like, not to maybe it might be a good show. I don't know. I haven't seen it yet or anything, but no, I feel like it's just Halloween all the time with those conventions. So didn't even come up probably.
100%. Yeah. But that was cool to see because, I follow a couple channels that were covering H45 all the way leading up to it. And they were just like pounding it into the sand. Yeah. Carpenter's not coming. Carpenter, he will not be there. He's adamant. He lives down the street, but he is too stuck up to appear at this thing. And then I think it was the last day, right? It was the very last day of the convention.
I think I remember hearing that. Yeah, it was the last day of the it was a Sunday, I guess.
Yep. Which is, I understand why he did that. He was like, well, okay, if I am going to appear at this thing, I'm going to appear at the last day for like those are the hardcore fans, all 3 days kind of thing.
Yeah.
So I understand why he did that, but yeah, no, it was funny. But then, I was just pulling up on YouTube and endless videos, John Carpenter. I was like, oh wow, he actually appeared. Good for those people that got to see him.
Yeah, see, I didn't even know that he wasn't supposed to be coming. I just kind of assumed that he was like a lock for that sort of thing. See, I wasn't going. I didn't go, so I didn't pay too much attention to it until after the fact, where I could watch the panels and all that. So I didn't even know that he wasn't supposed to come. So that must have been a really cool surprise for those who didn't know that.
Yeah, him and apparently Curtis was supposed to go, and then I think she backed out last minute because of all the strikes and everything. I think. I think she just felt like I don't know if it was to support that or because you can talk about everything in your past, but I'm sure she's working.
Yeah, right, because you shouldn't be an issue. It's not like a thing she's actively working on, right? I don't know all the semantics and stuff, but no, I feel like that would have been fine. She doesn't do a lot of conventions anyway. I think she's only done like 3 or something, or maybe less than that. I'm not really sure.
Right. Yeah, but either way, Halloween being your favorite horror film of all time, do you plan on, because they do this every 5 years?
This
convention. Do you plan on going on to the 50th?
Man, that would be awesome. I'm in New Jersey, right? So that would be a big trip for me.
Yep.
Yeah. It would. Part of me feels like you kind of have to, like, out of obligation, and it's gonna sound morbid, but it's like some of these guys might not be around for a while. So
everybody's saying that, yeah.
Yeah, and it's like you almost don't even want to say it, so you're not like speaking something into existence, but. Yeah, no, I think I've wanted to travel out to California just anyway, I have friends out there, so it would be, I've never been over there, so it would be cool anyway. And then to have that be the reason to go would even be that much sweeter. So yeah, I mean, 5 years is a long time. Anything could happen between now and then, so I don't want to speak too soon, but yeah, if I'm in a position where I can go. And is it usually in October? Is it usually in September or October?
I think so. Yeah, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, that would seem fitting. So yeah, no, I wouldn't rule anything out for sure. I'd love to go.
Do you watch like one of the main people I watch? He's been on the channel previously. Dave McRae.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Big
So
fan.
yeah, he didn't go to this one, but he did go to the 40th right before Halloween 2018 came out.
Right. Okay, that's cool.
So
that must have been pretty electric. New
that's what
Halloween.
that's what he was.
coming.
That's
Yeah.
what he was saying. Yeah, he was like the 40th. That was like there was like a buzz in the air kind of thing, and he was like, I don't know if that was with the 45th because now the trilogy's over and everyone feels how they feel about kills and ends and everything.
You're sort of swimming in the wake of that now, and it's like there's things to be excited for. Obviously, new projects will be coming out, but we don't know specifics yet. So I would imagine at that time, did we know that like Jamie Lee was coming back for 2018? Like at that time that convention took place? I don't know if you might know, but I would imagine that'd be something to get people excited, just knowing that going into the convention.
Yeah, the 40th happened 1 week before 2018 came out.
Oh, it was that close?
It was that tight knit kind of.
So then people. Okay, I didn't know if it had like just been announced or whatever, but no, that's super exciting then.
Yeah. So I think James Jude was there even before anyone knew who he truly was.
Or how good he would be as the
right.
Yeah,
right. Yeah. So you've probably talked about that a bunch of times on other channels, but in case anyone is meeting you for the first time here, Halloween being your favorite horror film of all time, going forward 40 years to the 2018 trilogy, how do you feel about that overall? I mean, clearly you have a banner on your wall.
So. Yeah, this was actually a gift from a coworker. His wife works at Best Buy, and this is one of the sort of displays that would be displayed over like the Blu-ray. I guess it would be a kiosk or something like that.
R.I.P. R.I.P.
Yeah, unfortunate. But
that's a relic. That's a relic.
And it's cool. It fits sort of right on my wall, and I have a Dr. Sleep one too. You can't really see it right now, but
that's cool.
But it's funny you ask because I just rewatched the trilogy I watched one a night over the past 3 nights. Nice. And I'll say this: when I first saw 2018 in the theater, that was the first Halloween movie I'd ever seen in the theater. So that was a really cool experience. And at the time, coming out of that movie, I was like on cloud 9. I mean, I loved it. From the opening scene to where you've got the podcasters like interrogating Michael, and there's that like smash cut to like say something to the title card, and it's like I got like goosebumps. It was great. And it was like, I don't know, it's just exactly what I wanted out of a Halloween movie at that time. I loved all the callbacks of like Laurie going for Michael, or it's sort of flipped, and I love the moment where she's gone after he looks back down outside, and you got that little musical cue. All that stuff was so cool. And then I love the ending with him just like staring up at when he's in the basement and everything's on fire around him, and he's just staring, and it was like, oh, it was so good. I love that movie. I loved it at the time. That being said, it did go down just a bit for me upon multiple rewatches, and I think part of that was just due to sort of the magic wearing off a bit. At the time we hadn't had a Halloween movie since Rob Zombie's Halloween 2, right? So
right, yeah. Yep.
So I was super excited about that. I love the prospect of the whole thing where it's like a direct sequel, and at the time that wasn't like sort of a played out trend yet. Legacy sequels. So yeah, I've got it at like a 4 out of 5 right now. I still really enjoy it. And then I didn't really like Kills. Kills was a big letdown because it got delayed because of the pandemic. So it was supposed to come out sooner than it did. So it was a longer wait for Kills. And knowing that it was going to be the middle part of a trilogy played a factor in it. And I was just super let down by Kills. I still don't really like Kills. I think it's got a lot of problems. And then Ends, I don't think anybody was really ready for Ends. It was just like totally, sort of out of left field.
Yeah.
And I'll say that I really like Ends a lot more than the first time I saw it.
I saw that on your Instagram story.
Yeah, I wish they almost had leaned more into the weird stuff. Spoilers for Halloween Ends. But there's a scene, he's like, Michael Myers is like a cave dwelling, sewer guy. And he's like, his burnt mask is now moldy. So I like that there's like a transition with the mask visually from film to film where you've just got the weathered one and then it gets the burn on the side, which is cool. And then that burn sort of becomes moldy, really makes everyone feel distinct. And I like that. And just like getting weird with it, where it's like him and Corey lock eyes and they like somehow transfer his essence into them, and they don't tell you what that's supposed to mean, but it's like there's a million different ways to interpret that, which I really like. I like ambiguity.
Right.
But the problems are there, and I think had they felt Ends doesn't feel quite as connected to the first two. It feels like just feels different.
Yeah.
It doesn't really feel like, a whole, like there's the seams. It's not seamless. It's like, so yeah. And that's sort of my thoughts on the trilogy as it stands. I like it more than I dislike it. I'll say that. And I was very excited at the prospect of A24 getting the rights, but unfortunately it doesn't seem like that's going to happen. So yeah, that was a long sort of spiel there, but
no, man.
Yeah.
Spiel away. This is did you pick up the Steelbook set?
No, just because I've got the 3 movies already. I already own them. So okay. I'm really not the type to upgrade too much. Or I should say double dip a lot. It's really got to be like a movie that I love. And I wouldn't say that I love any of those. Halloween 2018 would be like the closest, but it's not enough, not worth it enough for me. So
yeah, I gotcha. So personally, I love Ends. Like I'm a big defender of Ends. So I totally, when I saw that on your story, I was like, yes, someone else that's come around to it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, no, 100%. It's the hate for that one is very misguided, I would say. And I was one of those people when it first came out where I was like, I just kind of threw up my hands with it. And I was like, I didn't know how to deal with it at the time. And then, it's like time goes by and you're like, I was actually excited to rewatch it, like more so than the first two, where I'd seen them each one time already. But this was my first rewatch of Ends, and I'm like, I kind of liked some of that stuff in retrospect. I'm like, the whole Michael being this like cave dweller who's like, he's like wounded from the events of Kills, so it's like he's not supernatural because the wounds that were inflicted on him did take a toll. He didn't just kind of shrug them off. So I like that out of it, that it felt, that there was a consequence to those actions in that movie.
Yeah.
And just like him being like this like sort of he can't function anymore the way that he was. So he's sort of been reduced to like this sort of shell of who he was. It's just an interesting idea, and it's something we haven't seen before. And I want more of that. If we're going to keep doing this, we're 40 years removed, you're 45 years removed from the first one. So it's like, I'm sort of a Halloween purist where like, I almost wish we hadn't gotten any sequels to that first movie. I love the way the first movie ends where it's ambiguous. That's like a recurring thing with me where it's like, I love just not knowing.
Yeah.
And that final shots where it's just like these establishing shots of all the places we've been before with Michael's breathing over it. And it's like, he could be anywhere. Like, that's great to me. That being said, I do like Halloween 2 and I like Halloween 4 and I like 2018 and I like Ends. So those would probably be like my top 5 or 6 there. But
so here's a hot take for you, because this just recently happened where Haley and I, we watched Rob Zombie's films because her and I were big zombie fans.
Yeah.
And I had seen his remake. I'd never seen 2, and she had only ever seen bits and pieces of the remake and also not 2. So we were like, you know what, let's do this. I'll rewatch 1 because I actually enjoy it quite a bit. And then that'll lead us both into 2. At the end of 2, we both were kind of we looked at it like, I was like, I actually really liked Rob Zombie's Halloween 2. And now having some time to think about it, here's the hot take. It's my favorite of the franchise.
Of the whole franchise?
of the whole fucking franchise.
Wow, that's cool though. I like.
Yeah, yeah. It's I don't know. My reasoning is I'm not like a diehard Michael
Yeah,
Myers fan. I'm super duper casual.
that's
I
that's cool.
I understand the appeal. I love watching McCrae, go nuts over this shit, and like
Yeah,
it's entertaining.
I
But at the
align
end
with
of
McCrae a lot. I feel like.
oh
As
yeah,
far
dude,
as,
you're so in line with him. Yeah,
yeah.
yeah. And he hates the Rob Zombie shit.
Yeah, I have an interesting relationship sort of with Rob Zombie to where I really appreciate him, and I'm not even too qualified to speak on it. I've only seen a handful of his movies. I haven't seen them all, so I'm actually curious to check some of them out. But it just seems like there's never enough time in the day, and or something else winds up taking priority. But no, I really appreciate him as just like a voice and like a guy who's I just hope he gets to continue to make movies and movies that he wants to make because as time sort of goes on, I feel like we're getting less and less Rob Zombies in the world, if that makes sense, where he's just such a distinct voice. And I want to see him continue to get to do his thing, even if it's not necessarily my thing. I like the fact that he's out there getting to do what he wants to do.
Right.
I like that. It makes me. I think it's like wholesome to be able to support stuff like that, even if it's not necessarily your bag. So
right, because he's still he's an like was it auteur? He's the writer director.
For sure.
He's always written and directed his movies.
Yeah.
So I've always appreciated that about it too, and I've warmed up to the what it is white trash. Like I've warmed up to the white trash stuff that he always puts into his movies. To me, it's movies are to escape, right? So I don't live that. So it's cool to just kind of go into that world for 2 hours and then leave.
Yeah, all that it's all so overblown to me. Like as far as like him with the white trash stuff and like he shouldn't write his own movies and stop putting your wife in your movies. And it's
oh, that's the other one, yeah.
And I'm like, dude, well, and there's such a double standard there because those are the same people who like love Mike Flanagan, and Mike Flanagan has his wife, Kate Siegel, in like every property that he does.
Oh, okay, interesting.
And it's and there's a countless other examples too where I'm just like, it's fine. Just say you don't like him. Like, what does it matter if his wife's in the movies or not? Like, it's his wife. They like to collaborate. Like, wouldn't you want to do that like with your significant other if you like? And no one's going to tell you not to. So why the hell wouldn't you? Like
ultimately probably what that boils down to is whether people admit it or not, or even aware of it, is a form of some kind of jealousy. Like, it's like, why does he always work with his wife? That is so not cool.
What a weird thing for him to want to work with his wife, like it's just silly to me.
Granted, even though I do appreciate a lot of his movies, she isn't the greatest. So I feel like that's what people kind of cling on to. It's like,
yeah, and that's the argument they'll make. Yeah, they'll be like, well, she's not a good actress, blah, blah, blah. And it's like, okay, well, maybe she isn't, but despite, I mean, I just don't see, if you like Rob Zombie's movies, his wife's performance isn't going to make or break it for you. Like you're all in already. So and if you don't like Rob Zombie's movies, then you're definitely not going to like his wife. So it just seems like, it's like you're kind of doubling down, and I don't know. It's just odd to me, but
it is funny. But how do you specifically, because you've seen some of his movies, but how do you specifically feel just about his Halloween movies? Are you like, God, get those out of here?
So I'll say I don't like the remake almost at all. But the second one I've seen maybe once or twice, and I remember liking that one a lot more, and I would like to watch that one again soon because I want to see how it's sort of sat with me. And that seems to be the consensus with a lot of people, is they don't necessarily love his first one, but when the gloves are off and he's able to do his own thing, and that's what I like about too, is that he got to do what he wanted to do. And I'm so happy that he did, because Halloween 2 seems to be really finding Halloween 2 seems to really be finding its audience these days, and people really like that movie. So I would never want there to not be a Halloween movie that people like. it just seems silly as a fan of the movies to be like, yeah, I like the ones that I like, but I don't want that one to exist because, you know what I mean? It's like, it just seems selfish. It's like if there's going to be 12 or 13 of these things, why wouldn't you want a lot of different ones so that there's sort of something for everybody? And that's what I've come around to with Ends as well, where it's like they really went for something different here. And kills too. Like, I don't really like kills at all, but it's got really good kills, and that's something that is not too common with the franchise. It's mostly it's not a franchise known for its kills, but Halloween Kills is a very mean-spirited movie, and Michael is just murdering people in really gratuitous ways. And if that's a thing you're into, Halloween Kills is a good place to get it. So I just sort of like that it's it seems to be well-rounded with each movie.
Although I will say, because up until watching Halloween 2, Rob Zombie's,
that's a violent one too. Yeah,
dude. Because I agreed with you. Kills was like, okay, wow, like that was pretty nuts.
Yeah.
But going back, right? Because Kills is 2021, 2022.
Correct. 2020. It would have been 2021, and then Ends was 2022.
Okay, so 2021, but going back to 2009, it's sort of like, damn, there's like one of my favorite kills in any movie I've ever seen is in Halloween 2, Rob Zombies, where he literally hovers over a guy. It's all in one take, and he just stomps his head. He just crushes his head. And I know they did that in Halloween 2018.
Yeah, I feel like they almost sort of took his I don't know if that was sort of meant to be an homage or not, but I can't remember the framing of the head stomp in H2, but I remember in 2018 because it's still fresh in my mind, and it was like just sort of it's just like you kind of see all of it. I don't remember it. Is it like a wide shot in H2?
It's a big wide shot.
Okay, so there are different. Yeah,
he just goes up, and then the minute he comes down, that's where the cut happens, and then they put in like a dummy. But it's so seamless to me. It's so seamless. He just goes up and crushes the guy's head.
Yeah, that's cool. And I remember in that movie too, Michael doesn't wear the mask unless he's about to kill somebody, which is a unique thing to where it's like when you see him put the mask on, it's like, oh shit, he's about to go and fuck some people up, which is cool. It's like that's what he should have done almost with the first one. But I guess he wasn't able to, or he wasn't allowed to, whatever. I've heard he had a horrible time on that one. Right. Which makes it all the more amazing that H2 exists because, they were going to make it with or without him is, I think, what I heard. So he said, okay, well, I'm going to come in and I'm going to do it my way, which is cool. I'm glad that he got to do that.
See, because I watched, he did an episode of Rogan's podcast.
I saw that too.
Which was really good. That was right around 3 from Hell coming out. And I think he talked about that. And he did Halloween 2 as a way to get out of a contract because he was supposed to do 3 movies with the Weinstein guys.
That's correct. Yep.
And he hated working with them on the first one. So he's like, look, I'll do another one, but let me out of this contract.
Yeah. Which is funny that he didn't. I think that's an uncommon thing to where he was like, okay, I want to do less movies with you guys, where I feel like more people are like trying to do more. So It was sort of rare in that regard where he was just like, just let me out of this. You know what I mean?
Yep.
But that interview really gave me a lot of respect for him too, because that was probably the first time I'd ever like seen him sort of speak in like just sort of a one-on-one sort of like this, what we're doing. And he's so well-spoken and just super, you can tell he's an intelligent guy. And yeah, it's just hard not to like the guy, and even if you don't like his movies, I respect that there's a guy like him out there. When it's weird, it's crazy to think that a guy like that even got to make movies to begin with, where it's like, this is a guy who comes from music and here he is making these horror movies. And it's just a unique thing. I don't know. I think it's cool.
It's great. It's great. Yeah. I said this on Nerdy Film Girls stream we were on recently. And I was like, if you don't take anything away from us being on this today, please just, because I brought this up. We talked about Rob Zombie and I was like, anybody that you don't like, even if it's not Zombie, just find interviews of them, not sound bites, find interviews of them that are long form. And that way you can actually hear them talk.
Yeah.
Because you're probably, even if they don't change your mind on them, you're going to at least be able to understand some of their process,
Yeah.
So many people don't take that time to,
Yeah.
listen to somebody in a long form, unedited, like you said, like this, and it changes the way you think of that person. Like how you said you gained some form of a bigger respect for the guy,
For
even if
sure.
you may or may not like all of his stuff.
Yeah. No,
So,
if anything, it made me want to watch more of his movies.
yeah.
So yeah, I would like to, I feel like at this time, I really only have seen his Halloween movies, and I started House of a Thousand Corpses a while back and didn't finish it, not because I wasn't into it, but for some other external reason, I just wasn't able to finish it, and then I never went back to it.
Gotcha.
But yeah, so really, I'm super. He's a big blind spot for me. I would like to. I've hear Devil's Rejects and House are both very good. I've hear Three from Hell not so much, and then people have talked about Lords of Salem a lot, and like I've heard about it. And it seems like a movie that I might even be into. So who knows? Maybe I'm a Rob Zombie fan and I just don't even know it yet. But no, it's just there's so many movies that I want to watch all of the time, and it's hard to sort of prioritize those ones. Even though I am curious about them, it's just I don't know. Do you find yourself when it comes time to watch a movie? Do you try to prioritize watching something you haven't seen, or is it hard to resist like putting in one of your favorites? Like where do you typically fall?
I 100% understand that.
It's tough.
It's tough, but Haley and I, we really try to limit our rewatches
Mm-hmm.
throughout the month, especially because we do at the end of every month we do like a live show where we talk about what we've seen, and we don't want the whole live show to be like, oh yeah, we watched that one again, we watched that one again, we want it to
Yeah.
be, these were first time watches for the both of us. So we kind of really try to prioritize that. So if there's 1, 2, 3 rewatches in a month, that's fine.
Yeah.
Like with Halloween, I was like, that's fine because it's going to lead us into a movie I haven't seen.
For sure.
So that's fine. But no, but I have a bunch of shelves. Like I know you have a bunch of shelves of DVDs and Blu-rays and 4Ks. And
yeah,
so you kind of have to, in a way,
yeah,
throw those in there to justify the collection.
right. It's like, I would like to eventually reach a point where, and we can talk more about physical media in a little bit if you like. I would like to get to a point where I've seen everything. Where I really try not to, like, when it comes time to watch a movie, I start with the shelf first. And then maybe if I can't find anything that I'm really in the mood for, then I'll turn to the streaming services. Because I feel like those will be there. But these movies, I've had them sitting around, they're on the shelf. I paid money. So I should probably watch one of them, right? So that's sort of my process when it comes time to watch something.
Gotcha. Oh yeah, dude. Yeah, no, physical media. I mean, let's okay, so there's the Rob Zombie talk. I wanted to hit that. Now let's transition over to the physical media thing, and the big thing, obviously people have been talking about it. I'm curious to see how you feel about it. Best Buy, our beloved Best Buy, is cutting the physical media stuff. And chat room, by the way, we're not ignoring you. We're going to get over to you. I like to kind of just talk to the guests for a little bit and then go over to the chat. But Best Buy is cutting physical media in 2024. It's been confirmed. And then also Barnes and Noble. I don't know. Did you see they tweeted out or X'd out, whatever that is. They said, by the way, we're still going to be selling DVDs in 2024.
Did they? I didn't see that,
Yeah.
but that's very funny.
It was funny.
So just like sort of quick background for context on me as a collector. I've always had in my family growing up DVDs, VHS. It's always been a part of my life. Had a stepdad who had a huge collection. My aunt had a big collection, so I feel like from an early age it's been in me to like this sort of stuff. But then it wasn't until 2018 when I really got into collecting seriously. And that's when I did I feel like when you first start out, the first goal really is to sort of get all your favorite movies, right? You're like, oh, I need to have, The Godfather, and I need all the Back to the Futures and Indiana Jones, and all the hallmarks, so to speak, the cornerstones of any good collection, right? So and then I would go to Best Buy a lot, and at the time in 2018, it was like 3 rows like on each side, just, I mean, I'm sure you can remember, it's not like this anymore. Now it's just one at mine. It's just one wall sort of movies. So no, it was just great. I mean, I love browsing. I love just, even if I have no reason to be there, like I'll find myself kind of like, I should go over to Best Buy, get some Taco Bell, go into Best Buy and just browse the shelves. Like I love to just browse, and I love buying things that I didn't necessarily plan on buying, which if it comes to a point where you have to go online, you don't really get that. That where it's like, if you're going online, you're going to buy something, and it's, you very purposefully click on it and you add it to your card, and it's like, there's no, I don't know if I want this, put it on the shelf, take it off the shelf. Like, you don't get that. So I'm really going to miss that. As far as Best Buy goes, I know people are saying, don't worry, Walmart will pick up the slack, Target. And maybe they will, we don't know. But if Best Buy is out of it, I wouldn't be surprised if they were not far behind. So I don't know. The idea of having to buy all my movies online saddens me, just because I love going out on Tuesday and picking up the new releases. It's something that I look forward to. I check Blu-ray.com all the time and see what's coming next week, and it's just something that I like to do. So I'll definitely miss it. That's for sure.
Yeah, man, it's gonna suck. I mean, someone commented we did a stream a bunch of months back about we had like a big panel of guests. It was our top 10, I think, Lionsgate steelbooks.
Oh, cool.
And obviously a majority of those were Best Buy ones. So I think yesterday someone commented on that video. They said something along the lines of, so now what are we going to do when Best Buy stops selling these? They're done, I guess. I don't know. They'll just be even more rare now. The value will go up.
Right. Like it's going to reach a point where it's like, this is the last one they ever put out type of thing.
Yeah.
And there's no more after this. And it's like, all the ones that are out are what's out. And I don't know, having it feel sort of finite in that way, like being able to put a sort of like a period on it and be like, this is where it started and this is where it ended. And this was the era. And it's like, now it's over. And I don't know, there's something about that bums me out, the idea of it. I'm kind of hoping, possibly naively, that Best Buy sees like a huge surge in physical media sales now, and because of all the people who are getting ready to sort of do their last hurrah or whatever, and then they're like, oh, this stuff makes money, and then maybe they back out. I don't know, not going to happen most likely, but I don't know. It's definitely a bummer, man.
It sucks. Yeah. No, I mean, because I have one right up the road that like you said,
I got one about 20 minutes from me. So
yeah. And this one, because I mean, I've heard horror stories from people that are like, it didn't have to be 2024. My Best Buy already stopped selling.
For some people, yeah, they're already living it,
Yeah. So I'm like, I was like, wow, I'm really fortunate. When they get new releases, they get like my Best Buy has them and they have them out. Multiple to pick from. Yeah. It's rare that I go into that Best Buy and they don't have what I'm looking for that day.
Same. It's mostly the steelbooks that like the Lionsgate ones, like that Wicker Man one. I don't know if you've pre-ordered that, but I did, and that's one that I could see really like not making it long, because more often than not, those are the ones that like horror collectors, I feel like in particular, like snatch them up quick. Like it happened with the Thing 4K steelbook that Best Buy did. That one's hard to find. There's a Halloween 1978 with like the fall leaves on it. That's
dude, yes.
Yeah, that one's I think out of print, or maybe they might have reprinted it. But yeah, like stuff like that kind of goes quick. But for the most part, you can find at mine as well. You can find whatever it is that is supposed to be there on that day. So
yeah. No, that one, the American Psycho one, is very, very, as far as I know, very hard to find.
Yeah, that's a cool one for sure.
Those are the two I'm hoping on, like and now it's probably not going to happen, but I was like, come on, give me a reprint, because I hadn't gotten into them until that was long gone. So those are the big blind spots in my collection: Halloween, American Psycho. A couple other ones, but I honestly didn't know that I was going to be able to walk into this Best Buy and find the Halloween set, because I ended up buying that.
Oh, did you?
Yeah, just because again, I'm iffy on the trilogy as well. I'm probably in the same boat as you, but
Yeah, I never got. So you said you loved Ends, but how do you feel about the other two? Real
so it
quick, just
actually goes in the reverse order. Or no, sorry. My favorite is Kills because
oh, interesting.
I love how, again, not emotionally connected to these characters. I just
Yeah,
love how nuts Myers is in that movie.
yeah, he really goes for it in that one.
And then I appreciate Ends for the just flipping it and just turning it on its head. And
And the
I
Christine
mean,
influences you probably really like too, right?
the Christine influences. And I mean,
Yeah.
the title card of Ends is Halloween 3 font.
Yep, that was funny too.
So in a way, it's Halloween 3. It's separating itself from the trilogy. And I don't know if you've heard this point, but someone said it, and I was like, actually, that's a really good idea. It was the Slaughtered Lamb movie podcast. Do you follow them?
Yeah, they're sort of loosely affiliated with Dave McRae, right?
Correct. Yes.
Okay, yeah, I know them.
So I think it was Darren who said, if you really stop and think about it, we have the Halloween trilogy. We have 78, 2018, and Kills. That's Myers right there. That's the trilogy. So, and then you have Ends, which is just sort of this
Ends could be just sort of looked at as maybe like an epilogue, even.
Yeah.
You know, if you choose to look at it that way.
But people, I think, were really upset because they were thinking of the trilogy 2018, Kills, you know. But if you really think about it, you have to put in 78 because that's what's.
It's more of like a quadrilogy because you've always got to factor in that first one, right? You know, we can't discredit that one. So it's like if you're gonna watch them all, you sort of have to watch the first one first.
Yeah.
Because, you know, I mean, I guess you could start with 2018 because we've all seen 78 a million times. We know how it goes, right? So it's like you don't necessarily need to refresh. For me, anyway, and for you, we probably don't have to refresh our memories with that one. So,
but funny enough, because we have a video on that coming soon. We did a theater in downtown Savannah because we're in Savannah. They just did a showing of Halloween, and we ended up going to it.
That's cool.
So I have a really fresh mind on that movie, and the takeaway on that movie is I forgot how much the score is throughout Halloween. 78. Like the score is all throughout that movie. The stings,
it really doesn't stop.
It doesn't stop. I thought it was going to be sparse, but I was like, wow, like there's the theme again, and there's another sting, and there's a
It's funny you say that. I'm in this like movie Discord. And there's this guy in there, and he doesn't watch a ton of horror movies. But since it's October, there's a lot of people watching horror movies. And he was watching Halloween for like the first time. And it's crazy, right? To think there's like people out there who haven't seen it.
Always,
but and he's like the music's like distracting for him. He's like it's nonstop, like you said just now. And he like counted that as like a negative, and I was like, you know, I'm not going to say you're wrong because like that's your, you know, takeaway, but it's interesting that people could have that sort of like, different that could affect them like differently. Like to me, I love it. I love the score, but for him, he wasn't used to it. I guess, you know, he wasn't like grandfathered in, so he thought it was distracting. So it's just interesting that there's all these different takeaways.
And so the other thing, I have so many thoughts going through my head. I love this.
Hit me with all of them.
but like the other thing, so this was because she goes to a college called SCAD, which is very artsy, and it's all about art. And so the whole showing was filled with SCAD students. So it was interesting to watch it because there were so many moments in this film, 78, that, and I assumed half of these viewers were first-time viewers, that a lot of the times, and like anytime they would cut to Myers just watching her, like I've never had this in me to do this, they would laugh. Like
that's interesting.
Like, and I don't know if it's because it's like a group setting, you know, like your friends are around you, so it's all just like, let's just, you know, have a fun time. But I've never watched 1978 and laughed until this, like, but I didn't laugh. I was just like, wow, there's a lot of people laughing at this movie. Like, and I don't think it was in a mean way. I just think it was because we're so far removed from it, you know, like there's so many other horror movies that have come out. So now to go back to 78 and see. And
it's quite tame.
It's tame. And I mean, there are some times where like she's looking out the school window and he's just standing across the street. It is
I could see 100% how that's just kind of like a funny thing. I don't know. It's odd to me, right? Because it's like, I mean, do you remember the first time you saw 78? I mean,
oh man, I had to be in my just like 12, 13, 14 kind of thing.
Yeah. So it's like, it's over half of our lives, essentially. I might have seen it even younger than that. And not because I necessarily like sought it out, but I believe like my parents had it on or something on Halloween. And I was always so curious. Like I was constantly like trying to sneak in and watch whatever movie I wasn't supposed to be watching. And, you know, I had any nightmare I had as a child was about Michael Myers. The VHS tapes terrified me. Yeah, no, it was bad. But, and now we love it. Right. So it's just, so to be able to look at the movie and be like, and try to take yourself out of the equation and think about how people who are seeing it for the first time would react to it. Very interesting. It's probably, I would have liked to have seen it in a theater setting, just for that, because I never gotten to do that. I've never seen it in the theater before, so for like a re-release or something.
Yeah, and this isn't like it's not like a traditional movie theater. It's sort of like a stage theater where they do productions and stuff.
Yeah.
They brought a screen down and then they projected it onto it, which was interesting. So there was like
very cool.
It was the bottom level of the theater and then the balcony and everything, and it was
that's awesome.
It was a neat setting to watch it in versus like a traditional movie theater kind of thing.
Yeah, that would have been super cool for sure.
But yeah, that just blew my mind. So then now the tie-in that I want to add is that's another reason why I think I like Rob Zombie's H2 is because he had a hard time figuring out where to put the Carpenter thing. So it's at the very end. You don't have any Carpenter music all throughout H2.
Yeah, you don't, do you?
Yeah, it's just at the very end.
I got to rewatch it. Yeah.
So again, I think maybe that is a factor into it because it just feels like its own thing, you know?
Yeah, I feel like in that first one, he really relies on the score a lot. Like he kind of uses it quite often, if I remember. I watched it recently.
Potentially, maybe a little too early because I think he uses it the moment the kid Myers puts the mask on, and it's sort of like I feel like you should have saved that for when he was the adult and put the mask. Well, like that is one thing I don't like is that he puts it on as a kid.
Yeah,
mask on as a kid. I'm not big into that.
Yeah. Well, and I know you like the movie, so I don't want to like shit on it or anything like that. But for me, it seems that he wanted to explore the psychology of Michael Myers,
right?
And for me, that's just something I'm like not interested in. I love that fact that he's just motiveless. It's a blank slate. We don't know why he does the things that he does. So when you go sort of take the opposite approach where it's like, let's explain exactly why he's like this. I'm just like, that's not interesting to me though. I know there's people out there who dig it. But I much prefer the sort of ambiguity. There's that word again.
100%. No, it's good.
Yeah. But again, it's a different take on it. And I like that there's different takes on it because we've already got the 78 film. So why not try something new?
Correct. I agree. All right.
My takeaway.
Let us slide over into the chat. I don't want them to be like, fuck these guys. They're not even talking to us. So let us bring up the chat. Here we go. We got Adrian, faithful Adrian. What's up, man? Hello.
What's up, man?
You rock. No, you rock, Adrian. Appreciate you being here. Judd saying hello. Here's Haley. I knew she'd be in the chat. Hey, I think I know this host guy. And then we got Magic Hands. What's up, everyone? Hello, Magic Hands. We got our friend Kevin. We're going to be seeing him in a couple days. Hello, man. Laren, I'm sure you're very familiar with. Laren, he's in a lot of the streams.
Yes, that is a familiar name. What's up, Laren?
Yeah, he's faithful. Yes, the new Killer Clown sign in view. She's talking about this one.
Oh, that's cool.
We just found that at Spencer's today.
Did it have the frame on it, or did you frame it like that?
It has the frame on it, and she's saying turn the light on. So hold on.
Oh, that's kind of cool. Yeah. You got that at Spencer's?
Yep.
Right there. Oh, it's sort of like 3D almost.
Yeah, it's like it's coming off the thing.
That's
there.
Cool, man. I like that.
Like a marquee.
Do they have a lot of cool stuff like that? I haven't been in a Spencer's in a while. I might have to go pay him a visit.
Yeah, they're Spencer's like I found this out, like they're like connected to Spirit Halloween. Like
Really?
I don't know if it's the same owner, but yeah, because they gave us Spirit coupons at the end of the transaction. They were like, here's some Spirit Halloween stuff.
Okay, interesting.
And then I noticed similar because you and I collect those bobbleheads that you have right back there. Yeah,
Yep. I was just
I
gonna
have a
point
bunch of those I picked up this year, and I noticed a couple of them in Spencer's that
very
were
cool.
supposedly Spirit exclusives. And then I saw the same one there, just minus the Spirit exclusive sticker.
That's awesome.
So I guess it's a connected company, but yeah. So
yeah, I love all that stuff, man.
It's great. Laren saying, okay. So KB stole my shtick. That's fine. He's talking about the Carpenter thing.
I saw this in your video with Celeste.
Yes, this is his like go-to question. What is your favorite Carpenter movie other than Halloween, The Thing, and Christine? I literally have to ask.
So if we're not talking those three, it would have to be The Fog. I really like The Fog.
Okay.
I love that it's just sort of ghost. It's like Carpenter's ghost story. I love the imagery of those like ghost pirates, especially that scene at the very end in the church. Spoiler alert if you haven't seen The Fog, but it's like, I believe it's sort of like, it's like a shot of the preacher guy, shot of the pews, back to the preacher guy, and then back to the pews. And it's like no noise, no musical cue or anything, but it's like all of a sudden the ghost pirates are there. And cool. It's very well executed. And that's just one scene out of a 90-minute movie, but it's like, it's sort of how they close the movie out, and it's really effective. And yeah, it's just a solid movie. It's like that whole opening sequence. Have you seen The Fog?
I have not, but the thing is I kind of wish Haley was here because she is notorious for not liking that movie.
Interesting. So it's slow. It's a slow movie. I will say that.
Yeah. So her review has kind of made me go, man, do I feel like I want to see The Fog? So do I feel like I want to see The Fog?
I mean, I would definitely check it out. Just just to say I've seen it, and it's like it's a Carpenter film, so right. So like I want to see all of them, even the bad ones. Gotcha. But it's back in his heyday. It's still the 80s, so it's like him at the height of his powers.
Cool.
And it's solid. It is slow, but it's very much like a vibes movie. It's like a really cool atmosphere. Definitely good for this time of year. So yeah, I'm a big Fog guy. So
nice.
I have the vinyl soundtrack. It's super cool. It's from Waxwork. I don't know if you know Waxwork. They do really great soundtracks. Really cool releases. So
yeah, I think they just did they collaborated for that Friday the 13th steelbook. I think that's a Waxwork.
Yes, they did. Yeah, I have that that Friday the 13th vinyl as well.
Yep.
Yeah. They do really good stuff. It's hard not to spend $100+ on their website because they do their artwork is all incredible. And then obviously the music is cool too. So
fuck yeah. And I assume if you spend $100, you should get free shipping, right?
Well, that's right. Yeah, that's why I throw that number out there, right? Because it's like it's funny because it's like I don't want to pay, I don't know. It's only winds up being like $7 to $10 in shipping. So much so that I'm like, I don't want to pay that. So let me spend $60 more than I was going to just to get the free shipping. And it's kind of funny when you think about it, where it's like you could just buy the one record and pay the free shipping, but no, I'm gonna get 3 more so I don't have to spend $10 extra. I don't know. It's weird the things we talk ourselves into doing when we're buying shit.
It's wild.
But
all right, so Halloween, Thing, Christine, then Fog.
Yeah, those would be my top 4, and then probably like Prince of Darkness after that.
Interesting. All right, sweet. Mouse Tracks, my buddy Josh says the beard is gone again. Yes, it is. A fresh shave. Because we're going over to California, so I was like, I should probably look not homeless. So that's good. He talked a little about the series he talked a little about the series at the panel. Lepke talked about it in his video. Dude who loves movies.
Cody,
yeah.
Cool
okay,
guy.
cool. So
I think we know a lot of the same people.
Yeah. You start to realize how kind of small the sphere is.
Yeah, well, this is a great community, man. I mean, everybody is super cool. So yeah, I mean, you just meet so many cool people. That's one of the coolest things about YouTube is just, it's like, this is my space and my time to like talk about the stuff I really like. And I feel like I don't get to do it with my family because they don't care and my coworkers don't care. So it's like, I don't know. I love it. It's like my own little sphere where we're all super into certain things and we can all find some level of common ground. And it's just a beautiful thing.
I couldn't agree more.
Yeah.
Something that I want to comment on with Laren's thing here is that's the one thing I don't like about Carpenter now is, to me, it seems like where you look at someone like Tarantino, and I know there's a little bit of a difference in age, but not super big, but you look at someone like that who feels very like he still has this passion in him, you know, like he loves movies, like he like reeks of loving movies.
Tarantino.
Yeah. When I watch an interview with him, I get juiced up.
Yeah.
When I watch I'll tell you, when I watch a Carpenter interview, I get so depressed. It's not even funny.
You know, it's funny you say that because it's like, it almost feels taboo to speak ill of the man, but it's like, I've seen some like photos of people who I know online on Instagram who have met him at conventions, and he just looks so unenthused. He looks like he wants to be anywhere else. And I understand, I get it. He's, 82, I think he is. And it's like, he's, the fact that he's doing it at all is something to be cherished, but it's like, I don't know. I just get the impression he'd rather be doing anything else. And it's like, I don't fault the man for it, but I don't know. It's a shame because he never really got his flowers, like when he was really making movies. And it seems like especially movies like The Thing, he got burned on, and it's sort of, he became disillusioned with Hollywood like relatively quickly in his career. And It just feels like he never kind of recovered from that. But it's like, dude, you have so many fans for so many of your like classic film. I mean, Halloween 45, like this happened. This is not a thing without you. This is this massive convention around one movie. It's not even just like a horror convention. It is specifically a convention for one movie. What other movies have a convention just for them? I don't think there is another one. I think so. It's like, I don't know. I feel like he still to this day doesn't quite know how like loved he is. And I just want to be like, dude, like, I just want to give him a hug. I'm like, dude, you're like, you have so many fans. Like, you don't even know. I hope he knows. He probably does. But I wish he got it more in his career when it really mattered,
Yeah. No, that's a good point that you make that I never really thought of. Like his love, his critical praise happened way later in his career. Yeah.
Like retroactively, where it's like, 2012 was the Ward, right? So but it's only seems to get more and more popular as years go by, with things like, Instagram and YouTube, and there's all these sort of these communities that are just popping up, and it's like, oh, I like this thing and you like this thing too, and there's like Facebook groups, and it's like, oh, isn't Halloween 3 awesome? And it's just cool, where it's like, you almost wish that sort of discourse happened sooner, because maybe if it had, maybe he'd have made another movie since the Ward. I don't know.
Yeah. Haley wants to know, where's Felix? That's our cat. I will tell you, I almost was about to ask Mark here to hold the fort down as I went.
I can do that.
No. He jumped off, but he jumped onto our counter again, and we don't like our counter being jumped on.
Okay.
So I was about to be like, hey, dude, can you hold the fort real quick? I got to go get my cat off the counter.
That's all right.
But he hopped off, so it's all good. He's just roaming around. He's
just doing cat things.
Doing cat things. Yep. Laren wants to know. You tell me, Haley. Nadia, who we're also meeting up next week. Haley, where the fuck are you at? Yeah, it is weird not having your co-host with you. Like, I will tell you that, when you're so used to having them right next to you. But every once in a while, she bows out. She's like, I just want you to have a dude night. So
that's cool.
Holland Oates, what's going on, Holland?
Holland Oates.
Good old Holland.
You want to talk about loyal people? Holland Oates is in every chat, in every stream. I don't know how they do it, but you are appreciated, Holland Oates. You are the man/woman. I'm not even sure, but you are awesome. So
you are, yeah. I mean, Holland. I gotta say, Laren Laren is
and Adrian for sure.
faithful.
All three of them.
Adrian, yeah, super faithful. But everybody, it's just
that's what I'm saying. It's a great
there's
community.
Not enough. There's just not enough time, especially when everyone's doing. So actually, you know what? Maybe I should start doing more later live streams.
People seem to be like when I see somebody go live like late at night, and I'm typically like up late, so I'm like, oh, okay, cool. Like let's hang out. It's like it's a chiller vibe. You know what I mean? Like I feel like we're kind of just makes me want to like go crack a beer and like I don't know, we're all just chilling together versus a little earlier. It's like I don't know, it just feels more formal when it's like in the afternoon. I don't know if that makes any sense, but that's how my brain sort of feels about that.
Yeah, no, we gotta, because this is, I think, the first one we've maybe ever done, but I feel like we've done another one super late like this. Yeah, we might have to add some more of these to it just to kind of mix up the crowd a little bit. Nadia wants to know, what are your thoughts on Halloween 3?
I think it's a good movie. I don't feel too strongly about it one way or the other. Yeah, I like it. I like the score a lot. I really like, I believe that's Alan Howarth still, who I may or may not be meeting at a convention this weekend. I hear he's going to be at NJ HorrorCon, and I'm probably going to go to that. So maybe I'm going to meet him. Yeah, it's not, I think it's ranking wise, I think it's like right in the middle of my ranking. Okay. I like it. I think it's a good movie. On the subject of Halloween 3, how do you feel about people sort of wanting to have a return to Halloween 3 and an expansion of that story? How do you feel about that? Because I'm kind of curious.
Yeah, no, I've well, this is our promise to Nadia before we go over to California. So in the next 2 days, we're gonna watch it. I've never seen Season of the Witch.
No kidding.
So and it's her, correct me if I'm wrong, Nadia, it's your all-time favorite horror movie. Like just not even Halloween movie. It's just like that is your favorite horror movie. So
that's awesome.
She's hyped it up a lot. So but to answer your question, prior to the news of Miramax getting the rights,
Miramax
for TV, granted that doesn't mean that they're not going to do it, but I have a feeling they're going to somehow still kind of keep the Myers attachment to it somehow. Whether
that's the thing.
It'll probably be another alternate, like it's not going to be connected to 78. I think they've done that, like 3 times technically, if you count the original, and then you have H2O, and then you have 2018. So I think it's going to be somehow Myers worked in there, but I don't know. Anthology, and again, this is all coming from Dave McCrae, so I don't take any credit in this knowledge, but he talks a lot about it, and I just happen to be like, oh wow, that actually kind of makes sense. He is adamant about go Anthology, go Season of the Witch. That's what you should do next.
See, that's the thing. I don't think people say that like, oh, a Halloween anthology would be received better today, and I don't know that I really agree. I think people more than ever, want Michael Myers. We've had more Halloween Michael than we haven't. At the time when Halloween 3 came out, that's only the 3rd movie, right? So it's like, yeah, people wanted Michael then. So I feel like that's only been exacerbated since. Right. Because other than without him, what separates it from just another another horror anthology? You've just put the Halloween name on it. Okay. So I do think you have to have some level of connection to, if not Michael, then
Haddonfield.
Haddonfield, or but so just setting it in Haddonfield, even I don't know that that's enough, because what's distinct about Haddonfield? I think the point of Haddonfield is that it's supposed to be this sort of everyday town, that you or me could be from. Like that's what makes it so crazy when Michael Myers shows up, and it's like flips this very normal town on its head, right? So I think
to have like fucked up shit going on in Haddonfield all the time is sort of like, oh, what
it's
the hell
sort of against. I feel like it's against sort of the idea. It's like the same thing McCrae says about Loomis. He likes to talk about how Loomis, this Michael would have been the craziest thing that ever happened to him.
Yeah, so to show anything other than that doesn't make sense.
Right. So it's like it kind of goes against the spirit of it. So yeah, I don't know how you do it. I wouldn't want to be the person in charge of coming up with it because I don't know what to do either.
What is
I
that?
sort
That's Malik Akkad.
yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know what they're gonna do if he passes that off to Miramax now, and he's just like, all right, you guys figure it out, and then I'll either sign off on it or I won't. I don't pretend to know how any of that works, but I don't know. I think it could be cool if you found a way to do Season of the Witch and have Michael in it too. Sort of have your cake and eat it too scenario. I don't know how you would do that. Canonically, in Halloween 3, Halloween is a movie. Like they go out of their way to establish that. So I don't know how you could go and sort of have Michael in that as well. I don't know. But
it's tricky.
That seems to me the best thing to do because people want that association with Michael. So,
and see, this is why I'm happy I'm not like I don't eat, sleep, breathe this stuff. I think I'd go nuts if I did. I'd be like, what's coming next? What's coming next?
Yeah, and that's funny. I don't spend like a ton of time like really like I don't know. I'm gonna see whatever comes out.
I was just about to say, whatever it is, I feel like, because McCrae said it too. He said, I don't like what I'll be there. I'll watch it.
I'm going to see it, you know, and I'm going to see it when it comes out.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I mean, I kind of like, I've always said, like, I joke with my friends and stuff who like movies as well, when like people like, when it's like, oh, the Batman 2 announced for 2025. And I'm like, that is so far away. And I am not like remotely even like that might as well be 10 years from now. Like when the trailer's out and it has a release date, then I start to pay more attention because so often today things are announced, things it's like this is in production and this is in production. And like, I feel like 50% of them never happen. So I tend not to, I try not to get myself too like caught up in like the minutia of like, when things are coming out and how far out they are. It's unless it's like, if I can buy my tickets on my Regal app right now, that's typically when I start to get a little excited. That's probably an exaggeration, but you get the idea.
Yeah, no. Also, I love how she called you Mr. Shelf.
Yeah, I've never gotten that one before, but I'll take it.
Mr. Shelf. Laren has said this before, but he'll say it again. Halloween Ends is the worst movie I have ever seen.
I would say that's probably a bit hyperbolic, but if that's really how you feel, then who am I to tell you you're wrong?
Cheers. What do we got here? Yeah, Haley, thank you. Please, Halloween Ends is not that bad as its own thing, not as a Halloween movie.
Yeah, and that's so much of people's problem with it, right? Is it's like that's how they wrap up a trilogy, where maybe if you had done that at a different time, people would be more accepting of it. But I think its placement in the trilogy is really where people sort of get their problems.
Gotcha. She says Halloween Kills is the worst Halloween movie ever.
No,
actually, this is
it's not. There's worse ones.
That it was funny. We were watching the H2 and she was like, man, this mask is not working for me. I was like, this mask ain't working for you. Have you seen 5 and
have you seen 4, 5, and 6? Because
oh my god,
even H2O. I mean, if we're being honest, Halloween 1, 2, 2018 and on, Kills and Ends, they're the only ones who ever got the mask right. The mask looks awful in all of the other movies. I suppose Rob Zombie's movies, you could make a case because it's purposely different.
Its own thing, yeah.
But in those other movies, for whatever reason, they just could not replicate the look of that first mask. And I almost get the impression that they didn't really try that hard. When you look at it, you're like, oh, that'll do. I'm like, dude, do you not think people are like gonna be like, hey, that's not right. That doesn't look right. And
yeah, and you can't use the excuse because we've talked about this recently where like in the 30s, right, how you would have Bela Lugosi playing Dracula and then 2 years later, give or take, he would play Frankenstein. And you like, but like the thing with that is DVD, VHS, that was never a thing. The movies went in the theater, they left, people forgot about them. So, you can do that. That's fine. You can have the same actor playing multiple different characters and people not be up in arms about it. Nowadays, you can't get away with that. But now, so yeah, like the mask thing, I don't know. to me, I think it's laziness and maybe even rights issues.
I was talking about this with my brother-in-law recently, actually, which is funny, but because it's the William Shatner. So, and I'm not well educated on this, but there might have been like a rights thing where they had to pay him some money to use his likeness. I don't know. I'd have to. It's actually you'd think I would know this, but I don't. I'm actually curious about it because only in 2018 were they able to sort of get that mask back. So it makes me wonder if they kind of. This is like if you could have. It makes me think you could have done this before 2018, but for whatever reason you weren't able to. So they must have come to some sort of some conclusion there.
Yeah. I wish I hadn't seen Ends. Big mistake on my part, says Laren. The new trilogy is good, not the best, not the worst.
That's sort of how I feel about it too, man.
Yeah.
You know, but then it's like you ask me what would I change, and I don't even know what I would say. You know, because it's like, well, you know, I don't know. What I don't know how I would do it different. So it's easy to critique stuff, I feel, but it's like when you start to think about like what I would have done, I don't know.
And that's the other thing too.
I might not have even made it.
Yeah, right. But that's the other thing too. I mean, it's hard, dude, to make a movie. You know, I've never made a movie, but I've watched so many making ofs and just I mean, back to Rob Zombie. I like that making of that first Halloween, that 4.5 hour documentary.
Yeah,
that's insane. Like, yeah. So it's hard to make a movie. So I mean, it's like this new Exorcist Believer that everyone's pooping on. Like, they had to make that. I mean, they don't want you to poop on it, but
no, that no one sets out to make a bad movie, right?
Right.
So,
yeah.
What did you think of Exorcist?
So we're actually saving that for when we go see over to California because we're doing Halloween Horror Nights over in California. So they have a haunted house over there based on Believer. So cool. We want to see the movie the night before we go through the haunted house.
Oh, that's going to be cool.
Yeah.
Cool. Well, I hope you enjoy it.
Yeah. I mean, I'm going in again, similar to Halloween. I really don't have any emotional attachment to Exorcist. So
really? I don't either.
I just want a decent exorcism movie. Just, that's all I want.
I thought that's what it was, more or less. I gave it like a 3 out of 5 on Letterboxd.
Perfect.
I thought it was good. Not great, not awful, not as bad as most people would have you think.
Yeah.
But
I feel like a lot of people are just having it out with Gordon Green.
That's the thing. He's almost painted a target on his back because it's like you've already got so much bad faith from people with your Halloween, and then you've sort of hit the hornet's nest of Exorcist fans.
Yeah.
And I don't know. But if given the chance, I don't know any director who would decline getting to play in both of those sandboxes. So it's like, I don't fault him whatsoever. I think anybody in his shoes would have done the same thing.
Correct. Yeah. And I feel like, cause I'm going to say, I think he should have actually just gone on and done, cause he's done dramas and stuff before. So I feel like maybe his next film should have just been out of the horror genre, give that a little bit of a breather.
Yeah.
But I know why he took on the project, because it is 50 years later from The Exorcist release date. And now, of course, Ellen Burstyn is, in her 90s. So you kind of have to hop on this really quickly if you want to get her in there. So
yeah, that's a good point. Yeah, for sure.
So, but he has said that, look, like, I know there's a trilogy planned. I don't know that I'm going to necessarily direct 2 and 3. So
I think that would even be for the best. Get some fresh voices in there. Give somebody else a chance to sort of direct it's like you directed 3 Halloween movies and an Exorcist movie. Let somebody else sort of have some fun kind of thing. Yep. Where like James Wan sort of directs the first 2 Insidious movies, maybe just the first one. But then he lets somebody else sort of take the reins, which is cool. It's like you get the ship started and then you hand the wheel to somebody else. Well, I think that's a cool thing because maybe that launches somebody's career. That's I think that's a cool thing.
David doesn't need a launch.
No, he doesn't need anymore.
Yeah, he's good.
Yeah.
Nadia's about to start her Halloween franchise binge tonight.
That's awesome. Yeah, so I'm kind of breaking it up. I'm not doing it chronologically. Like I watched the first one. I watched Rob Zombie's Halloween back in like September. So
Okay.
I'm gonna watch his H2 soon, and then I'll probably do like Halloween 2, 4, 5, 6. Do like the Thorn trilogy, and then if I feel like it, I'll do like H2O and Resurrection, which I'm not super high on H2O. I know a lot of people are, but it's not my bag.
When you watch H2, message me afterwards on your updated thoughts. I'm curious.
Yeah, I will, for sure. And you might even see sometimes I post like a quick blurb with my rating on my Instagram story, so maybe you'll see that, and then we can even get we can get DMing and chop it up about that movie.
Well, you're on Letterboxd, so I'll just
oh yeah, I should get your Letterboxd too. I don't think I follow you on there.
Yeah, we'll do that. Because I say that because she says Halloween 2 is poopy wiener. You are so wrong, Nadia. It's not even funny how wrong you are.
Look, I mean, I will say, I think the Halloween franchise, because I have seen them all, I think there's more bad to mediocre movies than there are actual really good ones. But that being said, there's a lot of people who like all of them. Some people love, like for you to say H2 is your favorite is super cool and very refreshing. And I love sort of getting to step outside of like my own little echo chamber and seeing how other people view the franchise. I think it's good to do that and like try to find like common ground and stuff. It's fun to sort of be like, well, I hadn't thought about from that point of view, but then maybe you might even, if someone's open-minded, you could change somebody's mind about something, which is cool.
Yeah, like I love it so much because I don't collect the masks at all, but literally today we went into our Spirit Halloween. They had a couple of the Rob Zombie Halloween masks. I bought one.
Really?
And then I have the Halloween 2 mask from Trick or Treat Studios. I have that coming. The one where it's all of it ripped off on one side.
Yeah.
Because I just love that look. Honestly, it kind of reminds me, because I'm a big Terminator fan, it kind of reminds me of like when the endoskeleton gets ripped off.
Yeah, I like that about it because it's distinct from his first movie.
Yeah,
I like there to be like an evolution with the mask. I like that's one thing I mentioned earlier about the Gordon Green trilogy is something to visually make it feel distinct from movie to movie, where you're not just sort of running back the same plays over and over again.
Yes. She says Kills was awesome, and then Laren says this chat is hilarious. Laren, what is your favorite Halloween? Oh, it's absolutely 78. I can answer that. That's so easy. Yep, there you go. Let's see. Get some. Okay, here we go. Fun fact: we are watching this stream from 3 different devices in the same room. Oh, okay. So yeah, they're like I was telling you how I was at a friend's house. So she's over there with them, and I guess they're all watching.
Oh, that's cool.
That's pretty cool.
Hi guys.
Yep. Mine's Season of the Witch. Yep. She's a big fan of that. 17 more days until Halloween. That's crazy.
Dude, it's going by too fast. I don't like it. I haven't watched nearly enough. Like I need to get on, like I have a lot of like boxes I like to check every year. And I usually try to watch like 4 or 5 movies on Halloween itself. That's when I do like a lot of like, I do like Trick or Treat. I do Halloween. I do a lot of the same ones on Halloween. So
Haley says, I feel Tyler's the scariest because he's literally the biggest dude ever.
Yeah, I mean, that's definitely, by design, I feel. And it almost feels like a cheat code because it's like, like Nick Castle is just a totally normal dude in the first movie. Yeah. And he's terrifying. So it's like, I don't know. Feels almost like overcompensating a bit. Tyler Mane's awesome. Don't get me wrong. He seems like a really cool guy too. I've heard him talk in some interviews and stuff. But I don't know. Sometimes I feel like less is more, where it's like you don't need to be like this fucking 6'5" dude with like, fucking huge and stuff.
Which is weird that they cast James Jude because he's he's closer to Tyler than he is Nick.
Yeah, I would say
that's kind of weird that they cast him.
He's so good, man. I mean, he really is. He embodies that walk, those mannerisms better than anybody. He's a great shape. My most underrated horror movie.
Mr. Shelf.
I'm gonna roll with this. Yeah, Mr. Shelf. That's tough. Off the top of my head, I think of the movie Sleepwalkers from 1992. Have you ever seen that movie?
Nope, that's my year of birth, so that just makes it even more like I gotta see it now.
Oh, nice. It's the first video on my channel is a video essay on this movie. It is written by Stephen King, not based on any short story or novel. It was just a screenplay that he wrote. I think it's the only screenplay he's ever wrote that's not based on an existing property. And it's super weird. It's about like these like demonic sort of like cat people who can like, they look like normal people and then they like turn into a cat and they eat virgins to sort of sustain their life force. It's super weird. Maybe some of the people in the chat have seen it. And I think people mostly dislike it, but I think there's actually a lot going on under the surface in that movie. And I like it quite a bit. I think it's pretty underrated. So,
Sleepwalkers.
That would have to be my answer.
There we go. See, trying to get some new comments here. Hey, there we go. That's one of the other friends watching with Haley, Maddie.
Oh wow, thank you.
Hey, love your work. Let me see here. At Mr. Shelf. Must watch horror movie every spooky season other than Halloween.
Oh man, I mean, I feel like there's so much more than one. I was just saying a minute ago, you got Trick or Treat, the horror anthology from like 2007. I like to watch Hocus Pocus. It's not my favorite, but I tend to throw it on just anyway. I like the vibes of that one. Trick or Treat, Hocus Pocus, Halloween, multiple Halloweens. Like I try to do Halloween 2, 3, 4, but those are ones that I try to do leading up to Halloween, and then on Halloween itself, I watch all those movies that I just mentioned. So
nice. There we go. To Mr. Shelf. Have you ever been so far as to pretend to want what are you writing here, Nadia? Are you trying to make me
that's like an internet thing. I feel like I've seen that on like 4chan or something.
All right, hold on. Have you ever been so far even as to pretend to want to do more like?
Short answer, no.
No. And this is actually what I call him. I call him Zabrambi. Yep.
Love it.
That's that. I don't know if Haley told you that, Maddie, but that's actually what I call him, Zabrambi. Okay, here we go. This is an actual question. I thought Nadia was an actual question. Dear Mr. Shelf, have you ever been to Halloween Horror Nights at Universal?
No, I haven't, but I would really like to go. It sounds awesome.
But you at least know of it.
Yeah, I know of it.
Okay. Because we have found out so many people don't even know what the hell Halloween Horror Nights is.
No, I feel like I feel like in the horror space, it's pretty well known. It's sort of like almost like a mecca or like a pilgrimage to like go there. It's like go check that out because they always do. Whenever there's like a modern horror movie, I feel like they try to go out of their way to have the tie-in, right? So you've got the Exorcist one coming up. So yeah, no, it's something I would love to do. And that's in California, right?
Yeah, it's at 4 locations. It's at the first one that it started is Orlando. That's the one I usually go to the most.
Okay.
Like last year we went with Durant Cinema. He came down.
Oh wow, that's cool.
Yeah, and Tony's Movies and More. We met up with him and Dave.
Very cool.
And so we're kind of keeping that tradition going. So we're like, oh, well, let's go over to California, meet up with Horror and More. So
Florida would be a lot more doable than California for sure. That's like a 2-hour plane ride for me. So
that's what I'm saying. Yeah, it's super right down the road. Maybe next year.
That could be something to think about.
Let's throw it out there because I know they're going to be coming over here next year because we're kind of swapping.
Oh, so cool.
We're going out there this year. They're going to fly out next year. So
right on.
Get you down here, man.
That'd be sick.
It is. Look, I've done it since 2007, like every year consecutively. So I'm kind of desensitized to it and like a little bit. I can't imagine the first time going. Like that's You're like, it's such a blast. It's so much fun.
Yeah, I every October, you know, me and like coworkers and stuff, we go to like you know, like haunted houses and stuff like that, like to do the whole thing. Um, but I imagine the Horror Nights is like the creme de la creme of that. Because hopefully anyway, because sometimes I go to them and I don't know, I just find them sort of awkward because it's like I'm not scared because I know that it's not real, so it's more like I'm just like appreciating the production that they put on, and it's like I appreciate it from that standpoint where it's like you know, you're not like startling me or anything. I don't know. I'm like, hey, good job, you guys are killing it. Where less so than just being like, I'm scared. You know what I mean?
Yeah, see, I have that same approach. I don't go in wanting to be scared. If you can scare me,
yeah,
that's a cherry on the top, man. If you actually are able to frighten me, like even it's a jump scare, because that's usually that's what it is.
That's what it is. Yeah, those are what I like. Yeah, because that's fun. You know, you're with a group of your friends, and you're like, you know, the one girl who's like, they better not scare me, and she gets terrified, and it's like, and you can all have a laugh about it. Like that's what I like about it. It's the sort of the camaraderie of getting through the house together, and you know, having fun is really what it's about.
That's what it is. I like going through them, admiring the sets,
the production value,
the smells, like everything that they incorporate. And then I just like I'm 9 times out of 10 like laughing my ass off, not at it. I'm just having fun. Like
I'm not trying to like disparage them or anything.
No,
like that.
I'm having a time of my life.
Exactly. And I feel like the Horror Nights would be like their production, I would imagine, is the best best you can find. So that sounds like something I would definitely enjoy doing.
Yep. And they usually get like 5 or 6 IPs. So this year they have The Last of Us, they have Exorcist Believer, they have Chucky, Universal Monsters, and then I think one other one I'm forgetting. And then there's originals as well.
Oh, that's cool.
So it's pretty cool.
Yeah.
How will you get the Lionsgate Steelbooks? I think they're just gonna stop making them.
They just won't be a thing. Yeah.
Yep. So this is true. Our Target took away almost all of our movies. It's like just this one little kind of kiosk thing, and that's all it is. So
yeah, I don't go to Target too much just because there's no need to, or I guess there will be now. But for the most part, I've never had to, just because Best Buy always had everything I wanted. So sad days.
Are you a pet guy? Do you like pets?
My sister has 2 dogs, and I live with her. So, yeah, no, I don't mind them.
Okay.
I think I like cats more, just because they're more independent, and you know.
Here's Felix.
What up, Felix?
There he is. For everyone watching who's like, "Where's Felix?" There he is.
Yeah, I don't know. Dogs are just I love both, but like I don't know. I feel like dogs require a bit more attention, and they can be my sister's dogs anyway can like get into stuff and you know make a mess, and cats are more just like chill. You know, they just want to hang out. You know, they just kind of vibe. So that's been my experience. Maybe that's not everybody's, but I find cats to be a lot chiller.
Here's another familiar face, John Doe Juggalo.
What's up?
Hello. He's also in a lot of
yes. We follow each other on Instagram, if I'm not mistaken, and we sort of communicate on there quite frequently.
Yep. Haley says this is just dudes being bros.
Hell yeah. No, dude, when you invited me on here, I was super looking forward to it, man. I love shows like this that you do and like that KB does with the conversation, where it's really an awesome thing where you guys just give people a platform to just like talk about the stuff that they love. And I think that's a really cool thing, because I feel like most people don't get to do that often enough, where like for me specifically, I love movies and, you know, horror movies. And when I go to work, I don't have many people who share that. So I don't bother them with it, because I know they probably don't care. Same with my family. So like having places like this is just super cool, and I appreciate it very much.
Because I noticed on your channel you don't have a live yet, right? Like you've never done a live on your channel.
No, I feel like I'm waiting to reach some like arbitrary number of subscribers before I do my first one. I don't know.
Gotcha.
I just feel like I'm having so much fun being on other people's shows that I haven't really felt the desire to do it for myself yet, but that'll be coming soon. I'm approaching my 1-year anniversary on YouTube, as a matter of fact.
Nice.
I think October 27th was when I uploaded my first video. So,
oh man,
yeah,
you didn't feel like waiting 4 more days?
No, it's I was thinking about doing like a video, like what I learned in 1 year on YouTube or something, and just sort of talking about my experience on it. But then I thought that could also be a live show that I did.
Hey, there you go.
So that might even be something that I wind up doing here soon. I haven't used StreamYard yet. I don't know. I'm sure it's easy to use.
Yeah.
Super easy, I'm sure. But
no shade whatsoever, because we love him. We were just on his channel, Dell on Movies. Stay the hell away from, I don't know what that thing's called. It's Evmux or something. Like, have you seen this?
No, is it like an alternative to StreamYard?
Yes, it's because he was having issues with StreamYard. I've never ever had issues with StreamYard. But he switched over to another platform, and we were guests on his channel just a couple of days ago. And literally, dude, we were in your position, the guest, and all of a sudden, just our camera and our microphones, like, they stopped working. Like,
interesting.
Out of nowhere. And I've never ever had that happen on StreamYard ever. And it happened 2 or 3 times throughout his stream on that platform. So just don't use Evmux. That's my opinion.
Never heard of it, so I think we're good.
Yeah. So again, love you, Dell, but stay away from it. My worst fear is being in a packed theater with teenagers and college twerks. Oh, you're going back to that. Yeah, that was it was fun watching Halloween with them, but they were laughing at the weirdest places, I'll tell you.
I think I had one of my worst ever theater experiences this year when I saw Scream 6 in theaters.
Ooh.
And it was just awful. Just, there was a group in the very front of like 5 or 6 like teenage girls, and like phone screens lit up. They're talking at full volume.
Ugh.
It was just, it doesn't happen often, so it's like I'm not gonna like swear off theaters or anything, but it's like stuff like that is just like, I'm glad it wasn't a movie that I was more passionate about, because I would have been really upset.
Well, did you see, and it makes total sense, like you can't argue on this one, but it's funny. Did you see like there was like a video that I saw of, because the Taylor Swift movie just came out.
Oh yeah.
Like the whole front of the theater, like a theater had, I guess, teenagers all standing up at the very front, like acting as though they're at a concert.
Yep, I saw that. That's funny. No, I think it's cool. I almost wish I was into Taylor Swift, because it looks like a lot of fun, but I'm not. Right. But I'm glad that it's going to be good for movie theaters.
Oh, 100%.
It's going to generate a lot of revenue for movie theaters. So like, I'll never be upset about that, because I don't want theaters to go anywhere. Earlier this year, I had like a scare, like my Regal was like supposed to be getting shut down. And then it wound up not happening. It was very strange. But ever since then, I'm just like, I don't know. I feel like I had like a near-death experience, and I'm just like very grateful for my theater. It's the theater I've been going to since I was like a kid. I have a lot of history with it. I love my Regal. People, I feel like people kind of trash Regal a little bit because it's not, AMC or Cinemark or one of those like higher end ones, but I like Regal. So, but yeah, so I'm glad that it's going to be doing well and stuff, but not for me.
100%.
Not for me. The Taylor Swift stuff.
Maddie says it still scares me. I don't know what you're referring to, Maddie. Let me know.
I think she's referring to the teenage twerps or whatever the verbiage.
Oh, right here.
Yeah, that might be.
Gotcha. Yep, college twerks. That's what they were. Bonnie,
Mama Blu-ray. How are you?
I don't know if this was her first time on camera, but she was. Did you see? Because Durant went live a couple nights ago, and he never goes live. But he was talking about Best Buy, and because he sent out the link in the chat.
Oh, cool.
I had never seen Mama Blu-ray on but she popped up in like on camera.
That is so cool.
It was really neat to see that, Bonnie. So
love to see it.
And then they were like, flirting back and forth because that's what that's what Bonnie does with everyone.
Love to see it.
Laren loves The Fog so much.
It's a good ass movie. I mean, I could see it. People, see it. It's slower paced. So if that's maybe not your thing, then it's not your thing. So,
do you agree with this one?
Oh my God, no! That's one of the worst remakes out there. I want to say that Fog remake.
That's with that guy who played Superman, isn't it?
Yeah,
in, Smallville.
Yeah, that's not a good movie. I don't know if I hope she's kidding.
I think she is.
But if you're not, whatever, that's your cup of tea. I thought that was pretty universally disliked, that Fog remake.
Right. Yeah. I've never seen either of them, but I just kind of thought the same thing. I was like, I thought that's like on lists of the worst remakes ever.
It's not well liked, generally speaking, I will say.
And then he says Carpenter's ghost movie was Ghost of Mars.
Technically, you're not wrong there, but The Fog did come first, so I will give it to The Fog.
Kevin's never seen The Fog. And then Maddie wants to know, I don't know is this real? Have you guys seen Rubber?
Yeah, I see. It's a movie about like a killer tire. Yeah, no, it's funny. I haven't seen it in a long time, at least 10 years. It was on, I think it was on Netflix. It's from like, I want to say 2010 or so, somewhere in that range.
Wow.
It's a very weird movie. It's like, I think the way that the tire kills people is it just kind of, it just rolls and then it rolls and then it like shows up somewhere. And it's like, it does this thing where it's like a shot of the tire, shot of what the tire is looking at. And they kind of go back and forth for a while and it gets really intense. And then whatever the tire is looking at just like explodes or something.
No shit.
It's like super ridiculous, like really like weird.
But dude, hey, look, I went into Christine because that's my favorite, but I went in, now it's my favorite, but I went in thinking this is going to be the most awful thing I've ever seen. I can't imagine making a car scary.
Yeah, it's crazy how they're actually able to do it, right?
But like a big thing to that is that score. Like that score to Christine is
yeah. Dude, I saw it in theaters for the anniversary like last month. Did you happen to get...
No, I didn't.
Dude, yeah, I have the ticket stub and I put it in my Blu-ray case. So it's like anytime I go to open the Blu-ray, I got the little ticket stub right there. It's pretty cool.
Man, that track, because I have it saved on my Spotify, that track Show Me, where he talks to Christine and he's like, show me.
Yeah, when the headlights come on, dude.
Oh, man.
Kind of get chills, dude. Yeah. No, Woo. Christine is fantastic, man. I mean, it really is. That's a movie like now, like from 2018 and on is when I really started to become more plugged into like how people feel about horror movies, like sort of on a larger scale. Before I was kind of like on my own with it. Like I didn't really know, generally speaking, like how people felt about movies, like these horror movies. And Christine was a movie I saw super, early on. I think it was like back in the day, like everything was on Netflix. Like there was no other streaming service, right? So like I feel like that's where I saw a lot of things. Like I saw like the original Fright Night, like on Netflix. Like I got to see all this stuff, and then later on, I got into all these horror circles and sort of realized how like sort of hailed these movies are. And it's just cool to be able to say, yeah, I've seen that for a while. I'm not like I'm not new to this. It's kind of cool to be able to say that. It's like a little feather in your cap sort of thing.
And actually, I don't know why I just realized this. This is from last year. We haven't put our photo in it. Haley and I take a photo every year we go to Halloween Horror Nights, but they sell these really nice photo frames. And last year should have been the year you went because they did Halloween.
Oh, that's cool as hell. Wow, that's cool.
Yeah. So they did Halloween. They did the Black Phone.
Oh, that's cool. What else they got in there? Is that is that the guy from I Always Know What You Did Last Summer or something?
No, I don't think they got that one.
The Hookman. I can't tell.
These ones might have been original. This is
it's
wait,
so
where
cool,
am I
though.
going here? That's Freaky, that movie with Vince Vaughn.
Okay, I'm about to say, what is that? That looks like Jason, but not Jason.
Yeah, and then where's this? There's all the Universal monsters right there.
Right. I'm sure those are like evergreen. They've always got those.
Yeah, but
That's
yeah,
awesome.
normally we put our photo but we just were lazy, haven't done it yet. But
that's cool.
Yeah, last year was a good year, Halloween.
Awesome.
What do we got here? We so have to see Rubber.
Okay. Was it
from
2010? That was just a guess, but it feels right.
We have to. Yeah,
it's an odd movie, man. I'll tell you, just from what I remember, it's very strange.
Hello, Judd. Hello. Carpenter is 75. Wow.
Oh, okay. For some reason, I thought he was like 80.
I mean, he looks like he's about to be 90.
He's looked 80 years old for the last 40 years. So I mean,
yeah, that's right. That is so right. Like when I see behind the scenes of him filming Halloween, I'm like, dude,
like what's going on with you? You just looked like
old.
Have you ever seen Body Bags?
No, that's another blind spot.
That's like the anthology he did. I think like he did a segment, Tobe Hooper did a segment, and maybe even Sam Raimi did one. But he plays like the crypt keeper sort of character in it. Okay. It's like this mortician guy, and they got him in like this old age makeup, and it's like what he looks like now is how he looked in that movie. And it's just funny to look at that and be like, wow. I would have thought you've always like looked this way.
That's amazing. I think we might have covered this, Judd, but I'll pull it up here anyway. What's your least favorite Halloween?
I mean, it's hard not to say Resurrection. It's like the most offensive to me. Like you just like kind of ruin the character of Michael Myers. You've got him getting kung fu kicked through a window by Busta Rhymes. You watch that unfold and you're just kind of like, how did we get here? Like we are so far removed from everything that made this a good franchise.
Right.
That Resurrection just offends me on like every level.
Yeah, I haven't seen it, but I've heard nothing. Dave McRae is ranted on it.
Yeah, I mean, it's hard not to say that's the worst one. I think objectively speaking, it just has to be the worst.
Haley coming in with a super fresh question. Thoughts on the game Uno?
Really underrated game, underrated party game. Love playing Uno with my friends. It gets really heated and really intense when you've got one card left and then all of a sudden you get hit with the draw 4. Lots of ups and downs on Uno. I haven't played it in a while. I want to play it now.
Laren says, when it comes to Myers, I'm done after ends. Fool me once.
Yeah, I mean, look, it's not going to be in that continuity, you know? So if anything, I would be looking for a silver lining in that it won't be ends. It's going to be something different. So maybe you will like what they wind up doing.
There we go. Another one of our great moderators, Gavin. What's up, playa?
How you doing?
I love how Judd. Not much. Ben, Hard Copy. What's up, man?
What's up, Hard Copy Blues?
He did give us Pineapple Express, so he gets a pass from me for all these horror potholes he's stepping in.
That is a good way to put it. I love Pineapple Express. That's a great movie. That came out for me at the right time in my life. You know, you probably feel the same way. I'm born in '94, so we're not too far away from each other.
2 years off, man.
Yeah, so like that came out for me when I was in like high school. You know, smoking pot's cool at that point. And yeah, it's still aged pretty well. I still find it to be a very funny movie.
Although I do have to say, I kind of fall more into like Superbad. I like Superbad more.
Superbad for me is better.
Yeah,
that is like the Dazed and Confused of our generation.
100%.
I mean, it is a perfect movie. I will say, for what it's trying to do, Superbad is doing that and then some. It's incredible.
When it comes to it, like if you have to pair Rogen and Franco together in a movie, my favorite is The Interview.
Oh, I haven't seen that in a long time. I've only seen it the one time.
Dude, I just find and it's mostly Franco because I know he's sort of like I don't know, he had his time now, and
yeah, he's supposed to be kind of like an asshole in real life, right?
Yeah, people don't like him, whatever.
Yeah.
I mean, I have actually saw I've met him in person. I saw him at in New York City. He was on stage doing of Mice and Men.
Oh, interesting.
And I went to see that and waited outside for his autograph, and he signed my playbill. So in my book, granted, it's a very small experience, but he's pretty cool. But
Yeah.
He's done questionable things. Anyways, the point is, I find his character in that movie so incredibly funny because of how stupid he is.
Yeah, he's dumb as hell in that
He
one.
is so damn dumb in that movie, and it's so funny, and it's just the fact that it almost caused a war with Korea.
Have you? Yeah, there was so much controversy around that movie when it got announced. Yeah, no, that was funny. Have you seen Your Highness?
I saw that once and I turned it off because I was like, but maybe now I would like it more. I don't know.
Yeah, Franco's super dumb in that too. And then Danny McBride is like his bumbling brother who sort of has to take on the hero role, and like Natalie Portman is in it.
See, that's the thing. Maybe I don't like that movie because I don't like McBride too much. I like him better.
Yeah, he's the star of that one.
I like him better when he's more of a supporting, sort of like This Is the End, where they're arguing about, where they're going to come and shit.
Yeah, he can be a lot to handle. He works better in small doses. But that one's directed by David Gordon Green, Your Highness. So
that's right. Yep. I watched an interview that he did, a long form interview recently, and that got brought up. And he was like, "Oh man, I appreciate you complimenting Your Highness. I think that is potentially one of my better movies."
He's very well rounded, I will say. He's played in the horror and the comedy space and the drama space, so he's very versatile.
Yes. Yeah, look, Haley's like, everybody's here in the chat tonight. I'm telling you, we got to switch up our times. Normally we do 7:30. So maybe we got to start pushing.
Maybe people are like at work and they're not always able to tune in, so
I like this.
Cool.
Gavin says, I don't really care for the reboots. I think he's too good for this nowadays, but he did write a script for it at one point. We need Panos Cosmatos to take over the Hellraiser franchise.
That would be pretty wild. I've seen Mandy. I've seen he did a segment for Guillermo del Toro's Cabinet of Curiosities. Are you familiar with this?
Yeah, the Netflix thing.
Yeah, so that was like an anthology hosted by Guillermo del Toro, and he had like different horror guys come in and each do an episode, which was really cool. I hope we get another season of that. But yeah, his Panos Cosmatos has an episode, and it's super off the wall crazy, and it is very reminiscent of Hellraiser, so that would be pretty sweet.
Yeah, I wanted to check out that show because it had Andrew Lincoln, who played Rick Grimes in The Walking Dead.
His episode is one of the better ones, I will say. I think it's from the lady who directed The Babadook. I think
Jennifer Kent.
Yes, I think it's her segment. It's called The Murmuring. It's about these two. It's a husband and wife couple, and they are like on an island doing some research about like birds. They're both like bird researchers, and they're staying in a house, and it's like things get weird. But that's one of the better ones. That's so I would definitely. The cool thing about that show is you can just watch whatever episode you want because they're not connected. It's just an anthology. So
it's like Black Mirror.
Exactly. Yeah.
Gavin, I love you. Rob Zombie's Halloween 2 is cinema. I think Gavin was talking positively about that a long time ago when that got brought up, and I was maybe a little hesitant on it at that point. So I think we share the same sentiment now.
I'm glad that it's getting its flowers, man. I really am.
No, it's great. Yeah, it's great.
It's good.
Maddie saying hi to Gavin. Gavin says, I'll beat Michael's ass in the original. Tyler Mane was way scarier to me as a kid.
That's a take. That's definitely a take. I think it's more in the spirit of the 78 film that Michael's not this hulking guy. It speaks more to the very everydayness of it all. Just that he's just this guy. He's not overly physically imposing. He just kind of walks, like a normal guy would walk. That's one of my favorite like behind the scenes stories, where like Nick Castle is like asking John Carpenter how he wants him to walk when he's in that scene where he's walking across the street. He just told him, he said, just do it. Just walk how you would. Basically, his direction was not directing him. He just kind of, he just was let him just do whatever. And I think that is really an asset to the final product.
Yep. And then he follows it up with Mr. Shelf, Gavin from Drunk Guy Media here.
Ooh, yes.
Are you a Giallo fan? If yes,
I am.
What is your favorite?
Oh man.
And I think he's being sarcastic with Drunk Guy Media. Just saying.
Oh yeah, no, that's fine. Man, so many great ones. I really like Deep Red. Pretty much.
I have that one. I have that on Arrow. So
yes, it's a great release.
Okay.
Deep Red's fantastic. I love Dario Argento in general. I really love Inferno and Phenomena. I don't know that I would call those giallos necessarily. They're a little more supernatural, where giallos I think are a little bit more rooted traditionally in like realism, where it's like a black gloved killer and it's sort of like a whodunit. But yeah, on the subject of Argento, love Argento. Bird with the Crystal Plumage. What's it? Cat of Nine Tails, Tenebrae, Deep Red. Yeah, he all his stuff pretty much from the beginning of his career to the before the 90s. He's pretty much untouchable, and then he kind of falls off a bit. But then I also love what's it? I'm blanking. Let me see if I can find it. It's Mario Bava.
Okay.
I love Mario Bava. He's got some really great stuff too. Blood and Black Lace is another really great giallo, sort of like the Godfather of the giallo. I think it's like a 60s film, so it's like predates Halloween even. And giallos and slashers are sort of I would say they're adjacent, maybe like cousins to one another. So yeah, there's definitely an overlap there for me. I love both of those. Good question.
Yeah. Drunk Guy Media, yeah. Vince says the only one he feels compelled to watch annually is The Shining. Yeah, Shining. That's my all-time favorite right there.
I like to watch The Shining in the wintertime.
Interesting.
When it's snowing outside. I don't necessarily consider that a Halloween film. I consider that a wintertime movie, but not a Christmas movie. A wintertime, like a January type of thing. That's when I like to watch The Shining.
Gotcha.
It allows me to get a little more like immersed in it and like really feel like I'm there with them, you know?
Gotcha. Mark, what are your thoughts on Idle Hands?
Oh, good. I love Idle Hands. I mentioned that movie Discord that I'm a part of earlier. Me and some of the guys in there did a watch party of Idle Hands where we all start the movie at the same time, and we kind of give our thoughts on it as it's unfolding in real time. And a lot of the guys hadn't seen it, and it was a blast. Idle Hands is a lot of fun. Have you seen Idle Hands?
Man, I'm striking out, dude.
Oh, that's all right. It happens.
I feel like what's Eddie from Eddie's Films and stuff, because he always says that. I feel like I just keep saying I haven't seen it.
Oh no, that's fine. No, you've got stuff to look forward to. That's all that means.
Gavin, I hope this isn't true, man. If it is, I'm sorry, dude. I'm wasted, Haley. My life is in shambles. I hope that's not true, man. Thinking of you, dude, if it is. Haley says, God, why is it called an oven when you in the hot food of out eat the food? Okay.
Of out hot eat the food. I don't know. She's asking the hard hitting questions right now, though.
I'm telling you, man. I'm telling you. But behind the scenes, she this is like a thing she asks me every single day. Like she just randomly would be like, "Why is it called an oven when you in the hot food?"
I got one. Why do you park in the driveway and drive in the parkway?
Oh, there you go.
There you go. Just hit one of those unsolved questions.
And then Laren brings it back on track here. I have to have snow on the ground to watch The Shining.
I'm telling you, it allows you to get in that spirit a little bit more, you know?
Yeah. Gavin, my siblings live in Florida. They've gone to horror nights like 6 times already this year. I'm jealous.
Damn.
Yeah, there was that time because I lived in Florida too that I had. It was called the Frequent Fear Pass, so you could go as many times as you wanted to.
Do they start it before October?
They do. Usually they start maybe 1 week into September. And
oh, really? Okay.
sometimes, like this year, I think they're going, and I don't agree with this, but they go into the first weekend of November.
Ooh,
And
yeah.
to me, that's like, what are you doing? It's just
Yeah, I mean, it's cool, but like personally, if I was going to Horror Nights in November, it would feel a little bit like I don't know. It wouldn't feel very satisfying. Is the best way
no,
I can say.
because in the back of your head, you're like, it's over. Like,
Yeah, no, we're in
holiday's over.
the pregame to Christmas now, where it's
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
Halloween's sort of in the dust in my rear view, and I don't know. I understand why they would do it though.
Yeah, yeah. Everyone meeting up in real life is really cool to see. Look, I will tell you, well, the first time I met Durant Cinema, because him and I are good friends, the first time I met him in 2016 at Universal Studios, that was the weirdest thing. It's literally in the video. I'm like, dude, you're real? Like,
Yeah, right. It's like I feel like that can be a thing, right? When you like meet somebody online, um, and you just sort of like, I don't know. It's like I know we're friends online, but it's like, will that translate to real life? And
right.
yeah, obviously the hope is that it does, but there's definitely probably a little awkwardness there in the beginning. And then as you get more comfortable around the person, you're like, oh, this is just like, this is just like normal.
Yeah, no, I mean, it's so I'm really looking forward to meeting Nadia and Kevin, because we've known them about a year, going on a year.
Mm-hmm.
So that'll be really neat to. I'm probably gonna say the same thing. You're real? Like you're
Yeah.
not like a simulation or?
Yeah. No, it's cool though, for sure.
That's wild. I haven't done anything spooky in years. I was supposed to be in Salem on Halloween this year, but I will not be there anymore.
Oh, that's a shame.
Ed, you got it. Ed, you got to catch up on the chat faster. I'm in here handing out gems, Daddy. Yeah, he calls me Daddy.
You don't have to explain that, dude. You're good.
All right, Kevin, you're killing me.
That is not weird to me.
Felix. Wow, yeah, I guess we are kind of behind. That's when I showed Felix. Vin says Idle Hands rocks. Cool.
Yeah,
Right,
it's a good film.
the one I'm taking away from this one is Rubber. That's the one that I like has my interest, but I guess I'll add Idle Hands to that.
Yeah, throw them both on the list. I don't even remember too much about Rubber. I just remember it being very bizarre. Sort of someone had an idea for a movie and they somehow were able to make it. It's like, what if there was a killer tire? I don't know. What if there was a killer tire?
Everyone talking to each other. Okay, here we go. Horror and more. My coworkers are lame-o potato. They're scared of horror movies.
Yeah, it's interesting because, like I was saying back in this Discord that I'm a part of, a lot of the people in there are like, I won't watch this movie or that movie because it's too scary. And for me, it's like are you? It's hard not to be judgmental because it's like, okay, I have to take a step outside of myself for a moment and remember that not everybody watched Halloween when they were like, I don't even know how old I was, too young. So yeah, it's not that uncommon. But I think we spend so much time in our spaces online and stuff that you forget that not everybody likes that stuff. So
right.
No, it's interesting.
I'm hesitant to pull this one up, but this is just I guess he is because he's from Drunk Guy Media. So here we go. Mr. Shelf, do you have a shelf? And by shelf I mean show us that booty.
No, I'm
you
not
have
gonna
plenty
do
of
that.
shelves. You have plenty of shelves.
Yeah, well, so I've got my big Atlantic Media shelf. You can't see it, and then I've got two of the smaller, I think they're called drawbridge shelves.
Okay.
And like those sort of house my boutique labels, and then the big Atlantic Media shelf is for like all the other stuff. So yeah.
Oh yeah. And also, I'm just gonna make you full screen here for a second. What are these posters behind you?
Oh sure. So this one is the Friday the 13th poster that came with the box set from Scream Factory.
Okay.
And then next to that is House on the Sorority Row, and and I can't do it, and Disturbing Behavior above that one. Next to that is Good Time, the Robert Pattinson movie.
Nice.
Underneath that is Carnival of Souls.
Okay.
And then the big one there is Shadow of the Vampire with Willem Dafoe and John Malkovich. That actually should have been my answer for underrated horror movies, Shadow of the Vampire. That is a really cool movie. Have you ever heard of that one?
No.
It's cool. And that's why it's underrated, because I feel like it's very underseen too. Like a lot of people just haven't seen it. But it's about the making of the movie Nosferatu from 1922, the silent film. But the twist is that Werner Herzog, the director, actually hired a real vampire to play Nosferatu. So this Shadow of the Vampire is like them making Nosferatu, but under the pretense that it's a real vampire. And it's super funny. Willem Dafoe, it's not like supposed to be funny, but there are moments of comedy in it. But it's Willem Dafoe playing Nosferatu, and John Malkovich plays Werner Herzog. And it's super good, and just a movie that I want more people to watch, because it only has a DVD. It doesn't have a Blu-ray or a 4K. So if enough people watch it and ask for it, maybe we'll get a Blu-ray one day.
There we go. There we go.
Yeah. So go watch Shadow of the Vampire.
Haley saying Edward is surprisingly composed tonight. I feel like I'm always composed. I don't know.
Yeah, I only watched the Celeste episode, but you seem pretty consistent with that one. So
I don't know. This one's funny. Gavin, Haley, get your mans. Tell him to speed this chat shit up. He doesn't even know I'm here yet. That was at 12:04 that came in.
Oh goodness. Yeah, we're a bit behind.
Sorry, Gavin. I'm sorry. Here we go. Mr. Shelf is no swifter sweeper. What does that mean? Mr. Shelf is no swifter sweeper?
Like a Swiffer, like a
I don't know what that means.
Like a Swiffer broom or mop. Like, like the Swiffer. I'm not sure what you're getting at there, but that's all right. That is all right.
All right, here's Taylor Swift definitely smells like cat piss. If you say so. If you say so.
That's not where I would have gone, but
you know what's funny though? You know that thing on Jimmy Kimmel? It's mean tweets.
Yeah.
You remember that?
Yeah.
There was one that Emma Stone did where she read like a mean tweet, and it said, "Why do I have the impression Emma Stone smells like cat piss?" But it was funny because she read it,
Yeah, I love those. Those are super funny.
So that's what that reminded me of. Yeah, I don't know. Taylor Swift, I don't know. I think she strikes me as someone that smells very pleasant.
Yeah, that's sort of the vibe that I get as well.
Yeah.
So I don't know where you get that from, but
Vin wants to know, what is this Taylor Swift thing? It seems sinister.
Yeah, if there's, I almost hate how popular this girl is, because I feel like I can't get away from it.
Right?
It's like, I don't know. I feel like people, they have this sort of natural reaction to, like, whenever there's something that they don't like that is super popular, you almost feel like sort of resentful, because it's like, it's all anybody's talking about, and it's like something you could not care less about. I don't know. It's interesting. She's a phenomenon. She's more famous now than I think she ever has been.
Yeah.
With this whole Travis Kelce thing and everything.
The Fog remake, Pee Pee Poo Poo, or Poo Poo Pee Pee, whatever Kevin's writing here.
Correct.
On the list, it is the worst remake, he said.
Yeah, it's not good.
Haley wants us to know the Eras Tour concert thing is in the theaters, Vin, and the Swifties are going nuts. Literally saw somebody saying if you're going to see Killers of the Flower Moon, to watch it in IMAX because it'll be the screen furthest from it.
Yeah, I don't see it being that bad.
Well, like you said, if anything, it's just revitalizing interest in movie theaters. So that's
it'll make them a lot of money. I just as an experiment on my Regal app, I looked up because you can reserve your seats online, and I went to hypothetically reserve my seats for 5 different show times, and every one of them is more full than I've seen any other showing for any movie ever since using the Regal app. So
even more than Barbie?
It's on par with Barbie.
Wow.
It's crazy. Yeah, no, everyone is it's like all like speckled throughout, like just seats and seats and seats. And usually I'll go to reserve tickets, and maybe there'll be like 4 people in the theater.
Yeah.
So
I mean, that's the power of the Swift.
It's not for me, but it's good for the culture. So
it's a cult.
Yeah, it is kind of scary how passionate these Taylor Swift fans are.
Quentin, I don't know how you say that last name, is the man. Rubber is shit, but check out his other films.
Yeah, I guess that's the guy who made it, huh?
Yeah. If you let a tire kill you, you're a dumbass.
Yeah, the way that the tire kills you, it's sort of like you can't really stop it.
Okay. Gavin's been talking some nuts shit tonight, but he makes a really good point here, and I'm sure you've gotten this before. Mr. Shelf, you're giving off Pete Davidson vibes.
I've gotten that before.
I see it.
Gotten that before. I'll take it as a compliment. Dude's on a legendary streak right now, so
yeah,
he's dating all sorts of beautiful women. So I'll take it, dude.
Oh man, but no, like I think because I forget where I first saw you, like in what you were. Maybe it was on Mid-Level Media. I
was on his channel. I did
the on a lot of them.
Dude, people have been very cool and like asking me to come on shows like just like this, and I love doing it. It's like some of the funnest times that I have. Mega Mike, the movie man, I do a lot of streams with him. He's always super cool and invites me on. Yeah, no, it's great stuff.
Yeah, but like I forget where I saw you, but the moment I was like, hold on, wait, that could be his like stunt double.
Yeah, maybe like his younger brother or something.
Yeah,
that's no, I definitely take it as a compliment.
What's up, Eddie?
Eddie, what's going on, brother?
The other Eddie in this space. Everyone's saying hi to Eddie, seeing oh my god, look at us having the same tipsy thoughts. Yeah, everyone, I guess what happens when you do late night streams is everyone's drunk.
It is Saturday night, so I guess it does make sense.
There we go. What's up, Laren, everybody? Yep. Thorn Trilogy is the worst of the Halloween franchise.
I don't disagree. It's definitely not my favorite stuff.
Eddie Part 2, the sequel. Maddie says Fred wants more Felix content. Fred is her cat.
Oh, cool.
Yeah. Body Bags is such a fun anthology film. It's Carpenter and Hooper directing with Raimi in a cameo role at a gas station.
Yeah.
Holy crap. Well, did you see Huck from Huck's Pop Culture? He met
just met Raimi today.
Had him like hold the poster.
Yeah, that was so cool.
That was really neat.
See, like,
okay.
Well, I was just gonna say Raimi actually feels like in all the media I've seen him in, he seems very excited. Like in his picture with Huck, he looks very happy to be there.
Right.
Again, not to shit on Carpenter, but
no, but look, man,
as
you should be. I don't know what that's like to get so fed up with Hollywood that you're almost like anti-Hollywood in a lot of ways. I don't know what that's like.
And just like tired of talking about Halloween.
Yeah, but like without that, where would you be?
Yeah.
So there needs to be a level of gratefulness.
For sure.
There needs to be.
And I feel like he probably does have that. Maybe he just doesn't show it the way like we as fans. Because I feel like there is a level. I'm trying to play devil's advocate. I feel like there is a level of entitlement on our part where it's like, hey, acknowledge how much we like this thing you made. And he's like, yeah, I've been doing it for the past, 45 years, like, let me, because it's like, he has other movies that he's liked for, but Halloween is like the one. And I feel like as a creative person, you probably want to be, you want to have people take interest in other stuff that you've done as well. And they do, but I don't know. It's just got to be frustrating for him to still be talking about Halloween all these years later. As much as it is a blessing, I'm sure he gets tired of it as well. So it's a mixed bag, I'm sure.
Haley says the chat demands Felix, the real co-host of Fans of Something. Yeah, well, Felix right now is passed out on the couch, so
doing cat things.
All right. Now, the only reason I'm highlighting this is because we have a super chat. So thank you, Gavin.
Oh, very cool.
Touch me gently. I love that you paid $5 to say that.
It's a good friend right there.
So this is for you, Gavin. And we're cutting that out. Let's see here. Appreciate it, though. Thank you, man. Appreciate that. Dude, it's nuts. It's almost 1 a.m, and we have a lot of people watching.
How many do we have? I don't actually have it up in front of me.
Right now, I got 15. So
awesome.
That's pretty cool. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, I would say so.
That's pretty cool. So we're gonna, because we are approaching 1 o'clock, so we're gonna kind of try to power through these here.
Yeah.
Thoughts on Origin?
Origin, is that, what is that? I don't know what that is.
I feel like that could be a lot of things.
Yeah, I don't know what you mean by
Thoughts
that.
on Origin? Well, hold on. Let's see. I'm going to type in Origin on Google, see what pops up. Origin. And it just pulls up like a downloadable software. So let me do movie. Origin movie. From 2023? Oh, I know what she's talking about. Okay, so she was an extra in a movie that filmed in Savannah.
Oh, really?
It's called Origin. It has Jon Bernthal in it.
Oh, cool. From Walking Dead and Punisher.
From Walking Dead, where if you go on my Letterboxd, my profile is me with Jon Bernthal because he came into my workplace after filming. I looked over and I was like, hold on, wait. This, because I'm a big Walking Dead fan. I was like, this looks like Jon Bernthal. What the fuck is this? So I walked over to him. I was like, Jon Bernthal? He's like, yeah, what's up, man? And like we had this little interaction, then we took a selfie. So that's my Letterboxd profile. So anyways, he was filming.
So cool.
He was filming this movie, Origin. And it's coming out this year. It's from Ava DuVernay is the name of the director.
Sounds kind of familiar.
She's like an up and coming female director. She's done some. She has a Funko Pop, so I guess she's.
Oh, no kidding.
She's semi prolific, but
I'll keep my eyes out for this film. Origin, I have not heard anything about it, but I will keep my eyes on it because I also like Jon Bernthal and The Walking Dead. So
yeah, he was so cool when I met him.
Like, yeah, I was just gonna ask you, what was he like? Was he chill or?
He was so chill. He was. Hold on, because I have the picture here. I just want to show you here because a fellow fan gotta celebrate.
He strikes me as a super like down to earth kind of dude.
Right here.
Oh, that's awesome.
It'll focus in a second. Hold on. It just has to. There you go.
That's cool as hell. Wow.
Right.
So where do you, if you don't mind, where do you work?
Starbucks.
Okay. That's awesome.
Yeah. So I was just making a latte, but I was on the drive-thru and I looked over and I was like, what the that looks like just so like the person was ordering and I totally just ignored them. I was like, I don't give a shit what you're ordering right now. I need to go see if this is Jon Bernthal.
Because they film The Walking Dead in Georgia.
Right. Yep.
Which is where you said you live. So I imagine
he has stomping grounds here.
Yeah, he might even be from there for all I know. I'm not sure.
And he's got a good podcast too, because he was on Rogan's podcast and he talked about how he has his own podcast. And
I've seen some clips of him. He has on a lot of the other cast members I've seen.
Yep. And then he had a really good interview with Shia LaBeouf. That was like a really big one that popped up.
Yeah, I've seen some clips from that. I haven't seen the full interview though.
Yep. Maddie's saying I like Marmaduke, but Beverly Hills Chihuahua is better. Okay. I have a feeling they're drinking, so that's a random ass comment.
Dude, you're not going to offend me, trust me.
Okay, Gavin says Panos is his favorite modern day director.
That's awesome, man. No, I need to rewatch Mandy. I've only seen that once, but I remember really digging it.
Jennifer Kent is a hell of a director. Yeah, she did the Babadook.
Yep.
Everyday Michael built like a hoe. I'll make him hold my pocket. Oh my God. Don't slut shame Michael, Gavin. Yeah. Myers is a stalker in the shadows. It's all about his mystique.
There you go, Laren.
Yeah, that's what Dave McRae likes about OG Michael. He likes just he calls him the storm on the horizon kind of thing. I started this Mr. Shelf trend. Mr. Shelf, if you change your username, I want credit.
I don't know if I'll change the username, but maybe it'll make its way into my bio or something like that.
Dude, let's comment on that really quickly. How did you come up with Tales from the Shelf?
Dude, I don't know. I think I was just so real quick, before I had my Tales from the Shelf Instagram, I had a different Instagram account where I just uploaded like movie posters and stuff. I didn't, but what I did was I would make them like in a grid. You know how Instagram has like the three, you can do like three and then it's three and then three. So I would have posters, but they would all be like the same color scheme or like different color palette. So when you would scroll, it was very, I guess, satisfying because it would be like all green, all blue, all red. And I did that for a while, but I found it to be very kind of boring after a while because it was, I didn't get to post the stuff I get to post now, which is like my Blu-ray collection and stuff, because you want to preserve like that grid or whatever. So when I was making the new account, I don't really remember exactly how that name came in my head. I guess I was just trying to think of something that sounded cool. And I was like, oh, Tales, like, obviously it's sort of derived from like Tales from the Crypt, right? So I was thinking about that, and then I was like, oh, Tales from the Shelf, because I guess it probably was as simple as I'm looking around my room, and then I'm like, oh, there's a shelf right there, and then it's pretty much how I arrived there. So,
oh yeah, no, it's it's cool because like there's the obvious ones, like, and no offense to anybody that picks on like your name,
right.
like Dave McRae.
100%. Yeah.
Dave McRae. Okay, cool. Like that was easy. But like when you come up to someone that has something like yours, it's like it's cool to kind of put the pieces together on how because 9 times out of 10, it's not as simple as that,
Yeah.
You really do kind of run around circles, like, God, like, because every name's been taken at this point.
Yeah. I wanted it to be something that would be sort of not like a brand or something, but like something that you would come to like, just sort of something to come to know me by. And I feel like it's sort of accomplished that.
Oh yeah.
And then this logo here, actually, I have a friend who's very into graphic design, and they whipped that up for me, and I really dig it.
Yeah, it's good. It's good.
Yeah. All credit to them. They helped me out with that. I'm not good with graphic design or anything like that. So,
Mario Bava is the most influential horror director. I hate that people don't give him his credit.
Yeah, we were just talking about him with the Giallo stuff. Yeah, as far as like Italian horror movies go, he is like the guy.
Okay.
So yeah, really good shit.
I have a hard time with Giallo. It's not my bag, baby.
It's not my bag, baby. Yeah. No, then that's totally understandable, because it's like one thing about Italian horror that's hard for a lot of people to get into is on those productions, when they would film those movies, you'd have a lot of different people you'd have Americans, you'd have Italians, you'd have Spanish people, all working together on sets, and they would all speak their native language like when they're filming, and then they would dub it over. So a lot of times you sort of get that like effect you would find in a lot of like kung fu movies, where the words aren't quite matching up with their lips. And that's because there would be like one character might be American and one might be Italian, and the American actor, their dialogue will be fine, but then the Italian guy is being dubbed over with American as well, because he was speaking Italian when they were filming it. And then you might have multiple characters like that. So, but it's like, why is this person sound or look normal and then this one isn't? So it's like there's a lot of like disconnect, and then not to mention the fact that a lot of Italian horror is often very like surreal and feels like a fever dream, and just very weird. So it's definitely not for everybody. So I don't blame you then.
Hard copy. Got to change that, bud. So true. I haven't seen anything since. That's funny. I love when he says that. Yeah,
it's a fun sort of rabbit hole to dive into, because it's like the big one is like Suspiria. Have you seen Suspiria?
There's the original, and then there's that remake, right?
Yeah, there was a remake, which was also very good.
I haven't seen either. I just wanted to make sure, like, we were, like, yeah, but I haven't seen either.
No, that's I feel like Suspiria is like the most popular Italian horror movie. It seems to be the one that a lot of people have seen, even if they're not necessarily like diehard Giallo fans. So
yeah, I have that Deep Red Arrow, so I've never seen a single one. Should that be my starting point, or is that like a little too ambitious?
No, Deep Red is also one of his most like well-liked movies, I would say.
Okay.
With Dario Argento specifically, he started out doing like very sort of like the Giallo films are like very procedural. It's like it's usually like a guy who like witnesses a murder, and it's like him trying to figure out, you know, who committed the murder, all the while he's being pursued by the killer because he's a witness. And it's like stuff like that where it's sort of grounded in reality. And then later on in Argento's career, starting with Suspiria, I want to say he gets a little more like supernatural with it.
Mm-hmm.
And he does like things that are, excuse me, a little more fantastical and not so rooted in reality. So I prefer the supernatural stuff. You might like the more grounded stuff. Deep Red is one of the more grounded ones. Suspiria is a little more fantastical. So I would say watch like one of both. And then if you like Suspiria, watch Phenomena and Inferno. And if you like Deep Red, I would say go ahead and watch Cat o' Nine Tails and Bird with the Crystal Plumage.
Okay.
So yeah, it's a whole like sort of rabbit hole, like I was saying. But it's fun. If you like one movie, then there's probably another one similar to it that you can go check out after.
Continuing that trend. Why does one live in the living room but sleep in the bedroom? Wait. Kind of answered the question there.
I know what you're saying there, Gavin. I get what you meant to say by that.
Die Hard is a Christmas movie.
Die Hard is a movie. I will definitely agree with you there.
Laren, why is it called taking a shit when you're leaving one behind?
That's actually really funny. I've never heard that before. That's awesome.
Maddie, don't start that argument here. Ed will never catch up on the chat.
We're getting close, aren't we?
We're getting that was at 12:26. It's almost 1.
Oh Jesus.
I apologize, Mr. Shelf. You don't know me, but I make everyone uncomfortable.
Oh, dude, don't apologize. You're fine. I have plenty of friends who are in a similar vein. So
I'm a criminal in real life. Do not mean.
You're good, bud. Don't worry about nothing. I'm having a good time here.
Last question for Mark. Favorite horror film from 1994 and then generally. But so generally is Halloween.
Yeah. What are some horror movies?
Why 94? Oh, because that's the year you were born.
What are some let me look up some horror movies from 1994.
We're actually doing that. That's a video coming up soon, everybody. We're going to be doing Haley and I's favorite horror movie from every year since our birth. So
I want to do that too. I think eventually.
It's fun, but it's difficult. There's like 2 years where I'm like nothing. Like there's not a single one on here that I either like or that I've seen and I like.
Yeah, 94 is looking pretty sparse. Wes Craven's New Nightmare, maybe.
Which, by the way, did you see Dylan's New Nightmare?
I did not finish watching it. For whatever reason, like I said earlier, sometimes not because I didn't enjoy it, but I just get caught up and I can't finish it. But that's a quick one. I think it's only like 35 minutes or so. So I need to go back and watch that. And I also need to watch Never Hike Alone 2, which also just came out yesterday. So I'm behind on my fan films.
Yeah, it's all good. But you're going New Nightmare for 94, huh?
Yeah, let's go with that. Yeah, it's slim pickings actually.
All right. I am just being my silly self, Mr. Shelf. Accept me into your heart. Everybody, just so we're clear, his name's Mark. Just so we're clear.
You can call me Mr. Shelf. That's fine. I kind of like that, so I think it's kind of funny.
What the hell are we doing? Playing Clue or something? Who he did it with the Blu-ray case in the media room, and it was Mr. Shelf. Halloween 4 is the best of the entire. Halloween 4 seems to get a lot of love. So
that's definitely a fan favorite for sure. Yeah. I enjoy it myself.
My significant other wants to know, do you have a Miss cabinet?
Nah, I'm a solo cabinet.
All right.
Solo shelf, rather.
There we go. Everyone's talking about their height now. I don't understand what that's for, but okay.
We could probably skip past that.
John says this is where the party is for sure.
I'm glad people are having a good time in the chat. This is awesome.
Yeah.
I don't know about you. I mean, I can go however long you want to go. So don't worry about me. Yeah, I'm good. I mean, I know you're probably trying to wrap it up, but it's on you. Don't worry about
it. He wants to keep going all night.
No, as long as you want to. I don't know how long you typically do these for. Oh, good night, Laren.
My rule of thumb is when I get to the end of the chat, that's it.
Okay, yeah, that works for me.
That's how I usually approach it. This was incredibly fun. Thank you, Ed, Mark, and this lovely chat. It's been a great night, everyone. And then he hearts us.
It's been a blast. Thanks for staying, Laren. It's been great.
I will say, because I don't think, well, he's probably gone by now, but Laren and I actually text. Like we have we shared he has my number, I have his number. And my favorite drink, like my favorite alcoholic drink of all time, is Blue Moon. Like I love a good Blue Moon on draft.
Nice.
Oh, so good. I don't have it in the fridge. I have it specifically when I go out. And I guess I turned him on to it because literally every time this guy has a Blue Moon, he'll send me a photo of it. And so let me just quickly, I'll click it. This is his most recent one. He sent me that one.
Oh, that's a nice looking one.
And then that's the theater we saw Halloween at. It's probably not. There we go.
That looks like a nice, like a little like independent theater.
Yep. Here's another one.
Yep. You got the orange in there.
Yep. Here's another one. Here's another one. Point Break. Here's another one. Another one.
Awesome.
So I guess I turned him on to Blue Moon. I don't know.
That's great.
Well, love you, Laren. Great guy. Hope to meet him one day.
Yeah, very cool guy.
He says, have Mark back again sometime for sure. Yeah, I mean,
dude, yeah, we're going on 2.5 hours. I feel like we still have so much more we could talk about.
Hell yeah.
So I would definitely, anytime you want, I'd definitely come back.
Hell yeah. 24 hours. Oh, I don't know. There's no way I could. Well, I don't even think you can do a 24-hour stream. I think there's limits.
Oh, really?
I'm pretty sure. Yeah. I don't know if it's StreamYard. Like we don't have limits. We have the unlimited plan. I think it's YouTube that has limits. I think.
Oh, really?
I don't know. Laren, if Fans of Something ever goes 24 hours, I'll be there every second. We all watch the same podcast, Ed. Yes, this is true. Vin is a big Rogan fan.
With Rogan, I like to watch the guests that I am interested in. I feel like that kind of maybe goes without saying, but like I don't just watch every episode. Like he's had some professional pool players on recently. He's really into pool, and so am I. So I like to watch.
Me too.
Oh, you like pool too?
Yeah, love it, man.
Dude, that's all. So do you like follow professional pool and stuff?
I don't follow professional. I kind of just like to play it a lot.
Same.
I love watching it though. Like anytime it's on at a bar, and that's the one I'm watching, not the football or the baseball.
Same. Yeah. So he had on Jeremy Jones recently, who is like one of the better American players. He's older. He's like the coach now. He's like the captain of the USA Mosconi Cup team, which is like the equivalent to like the Ryder Cup in golf. If you're familiar, it's like USA versus Europe. Okay. So, but yeah, Rogan had a couple of pool players on. So like, I love watching those episodes. I watched the Rob Zombie one, obviously. I like anybody having to do with films. I think he had Kevin Smith on.
Yeah, well, dude, he had him on a couple of times, and there was one time, obviously, they were under influences, but like because Kevin was talking about his like heart surgery that he had, and
yeah,
both of them started like tearing up and crying.
Holy shit!
It was very intense to watch two grown dudes crying on a podcast.
Kevin Smith cries like all the time, though. I will say, like, he's famous for like posting like a selfie of himself crying during like every movie, like any. I'm trying to think of examples. Like a lot of the Marvel movies, I think he cried during Star Wars, that like the big stuff. He's kind of a softie, but seeing Joe Rogan cry is a little surprising.
Yeah. He doesn't like cry, but he like his
Yeah.
his voice gets choked up and everything.
Yeah.
And it's great. He actually has a good story where he says he doesn't get emotional over sad things a lot. Like sad things don't make him sad. He gets emotional over like people. Like he brought up a story of Fear Factor and like this like underdog couple that was like powering through the competition and how like that made him emotional, like seeing them like strive. And so
yeah, that's cool.
It's pretty neat. Someone like him, like this like jacked up fucking martial artist dude
doesn't seem like the type to cry quickly.
No, but it's cool. Look, I've said it here, I'll say it again. Barbie made me cry, dude. Like I cried in Barbie.
Yeah, I didn't cry during Barbie, but there was a movie that came out this year called Past Lives. Have you heard of it?
Oh yeah, from A24.
Yeah,
that one is like high on. Like once we get out of October, because we only do horror now. Once we get into November, Past Lives is coming up.
Dude, that's my favorite movie of this year so far.
Everyone's saying that,
and the ending in particular
made you cry.
I was bawling like a baby in the theater, dude. Just like, oh my god, it was awesome. Like it was so cool, and I'm just like, I like movies that make me feel that way. That can like when I'm like impressed. It's like you've drawn this out of me, and I'm not like, I don't have this like tough guy persona or anything like that. Obviously, I'm just like, so if a movie can like legitimately like draw that out of me, then I'm like, you have done your job, and I just really find that to be a thing worth praising. So,
hell yeah,
definitely watch Past Lives. You'll dig it.
Yeah, I think my most choked up movie that gets me every time, same amount of choked up, is Ghost with Patrick Swayze.
I haven't seen that.
That's an intense film, dude.
Yeah, I've heard it's good.
Oof, it's nuts. It's heavy.
Yeah. A couple that got me, Portrait of a Lady on Fire. Have you seen that?
No, come on, give me one I have seen.
There's another one called Before Sunrise with
Ethan. The Before trilogy.
Yeah, dude.
Before Sunrise. That's the first one.
Yes, my favorite
one. Makes me cry too. Where like at the end where they part, right?
Yeah, because it's like
it's sad.
You're like, you don't know. Well, and I almost wish that those were just like, the first one's my favorite by like a lot. Like I don't even necessarily like, I think that could have even just been one movie. And then the way that it ends, not knowing if they ever get to see each other again, would have been like way more impactful for me.
Versus like he's an author in the second one.
Yeah, which was like a little like hokey, but I love all three. Don't get me wrong, but the first one was like, whoa, like this is such a good, like it's just two people talking
the whole movie.
The whole movie, but it's like somehow it's like you're still on the edge of your seat the same way you would be for like a Mission Impossible film. It's really something commendable there. I love movies like that. So
no, dude, I agree. Yeah, and I had that set from Criterion a long time ago, and I got rid of it for some stupid reason. So I need to reacquire that.
Oh, another one, Brokeback Mountain. The end of that movie fucked me up.
See, I've only seen that movie once, and that was I feel like that was like right around the time it came out. So I definitely was way too young to understand what that movie was.
Yeah, no, I watched it about a year ago, maybe two, and yeah, I won't say how it ends in case you decide to rewatch it.
Yeah, for sure, yeah.
But yeah, that one got me for sure.
Nadia saying she needs to get a sweet logo. Hey, look, she has a. I don't know. I don't know if you've seen her channel or not, but
does she have I have to follow her. Yeah, I have to.
Yeah, Horror and More. Let
me get my phone.
It's a great channel. She's talking about her logo right here, which is her face. Nice face. She has a great intro though. To her channel, like like the thing that starts the videos.
Yeah,
it's really cool. So. But yeah, check out her channel, Horror and More.
Found it.
You found it?
Yeah. Is there anybody else that I should be? Does like Laren or anybody have? I don't think he does, right?
See, Laren doesn't, and yet somehow he's a guest on everyone's channel.
I think that's cool though. It's like you get to, you can still like be a part of the conversation without necessarily having to make your own videos, which is
right. I 100% agree, but I'd be lying, and it's also because we're really cool with Laren. But I'll turn to Haley and I'll go, "How is he getting all this traction?" And he doesn't even have a channel.
Right. That's funny.
So it's pretty funny. But horror and more. But you know about all the other ones. You know.
Yeah,
Hard
I think
Copy,
I do. Yeah.
You know Eddie's films
Eddie. Yep. Yeah.
Everybody else, I know Gavin doesn't do a channel. So yeah, if I ever start a channel, I'm going to call it Crud Dick Mudflakes.
YouTube might not like that, but you could probably find a way around it.
Right?
You get creative.
I don't know if John Doe has a channel or not.
I know he has an Instagram, which I follow him. I think he has a channel too.
Okay.
I think he does. I think I actually subbed to him not long ago, as a matter of fact.
Well, there you go. Gavin saying, "Damn, Mr. Shelf is a sick Clue name. Clue is top tier."
Great movie.
I will, yeah, dude. I will say that was a first time watch this year, and it is now one of, like, it's one of my favorite. Well, it's my favorite Tim Curry movie now. Like that
movie is so much fun. I love Clue.
He literally holds that movie together.
He does.
I don't know that I've seen another performance where that performance, and I'm sure I could think of other ones, but he holds that, like he is running around.
I love that scene at the end where he's like, everyone's following him and he's like running from room to room, like reenacting everything that's happened. And he's so animated and it's so good.
Which just makes it all the more sad of his current state. It's just like, that is so sad.
Yeah. God bless him.
But
dude,
if I were to,
oh, go ahead.
I was just going to say, if I were to ever meet him, that is the thing I want signed. I want something from Clue signed.
Yes, 100%. He would probably appreciate, too, that the fact that it's not like Pennywise or something.
Right. What were you going to say?
When Clue came out in theaters, I don't know if when you watched it, I have the Blu-ray, and it had 3 different endings shot. Sort of in the spirit of the game, how there can be different endings.
Yeah.
So depending on which, like, people all over the country saw it in different theaters, and they had different endings attached to it each time. So, like, somebody could have seen it and saw one ending, and then a coworker maybe saw it and saw a different ending, and then they would like see each other at the water cooler the next day and be like, "Wait, that's not how mine ended." Blah blah blah. So, yeah, and then on the Blu-ray, it plays like all 3 endings in like a random order, and all of them make sense, like based on everything else that's been established. So, I just think that's a super cool thing that like not many doesn't really ever happen anymore.
No, it doesn't, and it's a cool marketing thing because then it probably made people go, "Well, hold on, I got to go."
Yeah, right. I want to go see it again so I can see the other ending. Right.
Yeah.
Super cool.
Yeah, we're not going all night. Don't be lame, Ed Wood. Ed Wood, though, that's a great movie from Tim Burton.
I have not seen that.
Oof, that's a phenomenal movie.
I hear that's one of his best movies.
Yeah, well, that's my favorite, hands down.
Mine is Sleepy Hollow.
Okay, yeah. Did you grab the Steelbook?
I got the 4K. I just got the slipcover. I couldn't find the Steelbook, so
damn.
Yeah, that one, like, see, that was one that went pretty quickly.
Like that.
You know, so it's like some of them you can count on just being on the shelf, other ones not so much.
And then this we're definitely gonna end soon because this is devolving very quickly. Somehow we're on Shrek.
Oh goodness,
I don't know how Shrek got into this.
I'm just glad everybody's having fun in the chat. I think that's awesome.
I also teared up during Barbie. I thought I was the only one. Also, go watch Ghost, Mark. That's your homework assignment.
Yeah, I guess I just didn't. I wasn't really connecting. I mean, I love Barbie. Don't get me wrong. It's in my top 10 of the year so far.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, I don't know. It just didn't make me cry, but I really, really liked it.
Yeah,
for sure.
I actually teared up multiple times throughout that movie. Like it was always the quiet moments because that movie is very loud, bombastic, kind of,
very funny movie.
Very funny. And then there's those moments, like there's that moment where it's just her and an old lady on a park bench. And it's like quiet.
Yeah, it's just a small little moment.
And she's just looking at this old lady, like living, like, and somehow that got me. And I don't know how that got me. And then of course the ending with the Billie Eilish song. I was just like, I was a wreck. But yeah, Ghost, I would say that is, if you take no other movie away from tonight, I would say Ghost.
I love Patrick Swayze. I love Roadhouse. That's one of my favorites ever. So yeah, Ghost is a blind spot for me for sure. I gotta cross that one off.
Yes, that is a phenomenal one. And then Nick Cage should play every role.
Just every movie role, period.
In every movie until the end of time. That was 3 different people who all agreed on that. That's pretty
wow.
Cool.
Well.
I need a logo and an intro, says Eddie's Films and Stuff. Well, dude, you actually got an updated logo right here. That's a pretty cool one.
Yeah, I like that.
Very vibrant. All right. I'm out, guys. Gonna go finish Rob Zombie's Halloween 2.
Oh yeah.
That's a good one. Have a good night, everyone.
I need to do the same thing. I need to watch Rob Zombie's Halloween 2 myself.
Oh yeah. Everybody saying hi to each other. Oh my God, Gavin, $9.99. You're not leaving until I stop giving you money.
He's got you there.
Holy shit. Well, I guess we got to stick around now. No, I'm just kidding. No, but Gavin, what the hell are you doing, bud? Stop it. Love Ed Wood. Yeah, Ed Wood is Jesus. Well, I actually like the real Ed Wood because it's based on a real guy.
Yeah, the Plan 9 from outer space and stuff.
Yes. So I just love everything Ed Wood. Agree. Ed Wood for the win. Yep.
Yeah, I gotta check that one out.
Ed Wood is Burton's best film. Oh, I agree. Colleen Camp is so hot in Clue. I think she's like
the maid.
She's the maid.
Jesus. Yeah, man. Yeah. But you've also got Susan Sarandon in there too.
Correct. Yes.
She's super hot.
But not to body shame or like shame anything with anyone because age happens to everybody. But have you seen her now? She's not so hot.
Who, Colleen Camp?
Yeah, she's not so hot.
No, anymore. I haven't.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Kind of hit her hard.
What are you gonna do? We'll always have
to. Gavin is literally a sugar daddy. All right, and on that note, we have reached the end of the chat.
Oh, really?
So we are caught up.
Awesome.
So that's the tradition when we catch up with the chat. We like to end things off here. So Colleen fell off. Yeah, she did. So this is the part where, like every other live show that it features a guest, I like to pop you up on the screen here. Okay. Tell us what you got coming up, what's exciting in your life, whatever you want to do. Promote yourself. The floor is yours.
Yeah, sure. So I recently finished up a Blair Witch Project video essay that's up on my channel right now. It's one of my more proud videos, I would say, that I've done. I really like that one. As far as what's coming next, I tend to be pretty spontaneous with it. It's really whatever I'm feeling motivated about. I have been leaning towards doing a Halloween ranking video. I feel like that could be fun. Having just finished the David Gordon Green trilogy, I want to try to watch a couple more before I finalize that ranking. So like Rob Zombie's H2, probably knock that out, and maybe a few other ones before I can really feel good about that one. So yeah, that's probably going to be the next video, and then after that, who knows? So yeah, check it out. You can find me on Instagram too, Tales from the Shelf as well. So
there we go.
Where I just post my collection and things that I buy.
Yeah, it's awesome, man. And you're on your channel, like you said, you're waiting until a milestone. You're just a couple hundred away from 1K, right?
Oh no, I'm like 620 right now.
Okay, that's like just a couple hundred, right?
From 1K?
Yeah.
Oh no, I have 621. Oh, you mean a couple? Oh, I'm sorry, I misunderstood what you were saying. Yeah. No, I don't know. I haven't really decided on like a number or anything for like my first live show or anything like that. But yeah, no. It's been I'm just hit 621 not too long ago. The Blair Witch video has actually been doing like pretty well, and people seem to be liking that. So,
well, there you go. Yeah. John says, "Great stream, fellas. Good night."
Thanks for being here, man.
Gavin, I would, but then that would mean I'd have to put the link in here, and who knows what's going to pop in here. And one of these days, you have my word, one of these days I'll be like Durant and throw the link in and just let anyone come in. But
Yeah, I want to try to watch a movie tonight, so it's gonna have to be a 90-minute one at this point.
There you go. Yeah, literally almost 3 hours of stream. I like this guy. What's your Instagram?
Should just be Tales from the Shelf with underscores between each word. Yeah. Yep.
I just like that he writes, I like this guy.
I've watched you for 3 hours. I like this guy.
I like this guy. Great stream. Thank you, Kevin. Can't wait to meet you, man. A couple days. By the way, that's Kevin in the middle, and that's Dead Meat. On
I noticed that. You got Chelsea and James right there.
Yeah.
That's super cool.
Twas a fun stream. Nice to meet you, Mr. Shelf, and fans of something. See you in 3 days.
Yeah, Thank you very much. Thanks for watching. This has been so fun.
Mark, you just broke the record longest fans of something live.
Really? Is that true?
Laren's our like record expert. So yeah, he knows.
Cool, man. Well, I'm flattered and I'm honored. It's been a blast, dude. I like talking to you.
Yeah, likewise. It just flew by.
Right?
Oh my God. See you in 3 days, Nadia Kev. Yeah, it's gonna be fun. All right. So thank you everybody for watching. We have a video obviously coming out tomorrow and the next day and the next day, 31 days. We're doing it. So but yeah, we'll be live hopefully in California. We want to do a live stream with Nadia and Kevin from California itself. So
that'll be cool. I'll be checking that out.
Appreciate it, man. Just followed you. I deleted all my horror shit, but I'll be back.
That's fine, man. I'll definitely follow you back. Anybody who cares to follow.
All right, man. Stick around. We'll do a formal goodbye. But everybody, thank you for hanging out with us for almost 3 hours into 1 in the morning, which I don't know that we've ever done that. So this was a lot of fun. Very, a lot of fun. So
yeah, this was a blast, dude.
And do you have like an outro on your channel, like something you say on the end of every video?
Take care and watch more movies.
And keep being fans of something.